Yeah, that's right. That's right. What's going on? It is spooktacular. That's right. Spooktober? No?
Sure, I guess. Why not?
What is going on? All my horror movie loving badasses out there. It's your boy PhatSamuraiGuy back again with Lady Phatblood. And thanks again for all you badasses for hanging out with us on a different time. We usually do streams Friday night, Saturday night, and if we do it Sunday, it's usually Sunday afternoon, like at 11 a.m. or whatnot. But yeah, it's like, hey, it's now or never. Fuck it. It's now or never.
We were supposed to do this last weekend. That didn't happen.
Yeah, but it's okay. It actually worked out for the best. So that way we can talk about all of these movies at once. Don't forget, guys, spoiler talk. This is spoiler talk for all 4 movies. Just another warning. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight.
Watching so many horror movies
Yes.
the last 2 weeks that when we watched a regular bad movie,
Yeah.
afterwards it was like, I feel weird.
You feel weird?
We go back to horror movies.
I know, right? Let's see who we got up in who's up in the hizzy we got going on right now. Let's do the roll call, son. That's right. Severio, what's going on? Brandon in the house. Jonathan, what's going on? Karen 666 in the house. What's going on? Hello, thanks for showing up today. Horror fanatics in the Assassin King, baby. That's right. Glopez, Ryan Jackson, J.S. Brown. What is going on? Steve-O, nerd jokester in the house. He's loving the Mecha Godzilla shirt. Thank you, my friend. Wow, this was not planned.
I know it wasn't.
That's kind of funny. This was not planned. But yeah, thanks for that. And Keech, I think that's what his what he says there. Kichi in the house. Eggshen, he's saying hello, Lady Phatblood. MKF30, what's going down? And Heather, that's right, certified badass channel members.
Well, Heather, you might want to dip out once we start talking about Halloween. So
this is spoilers, Heather. But we're when we talk about Halloween, it'll be the last film we get to. So you have to come back tomorrow. But thanks for popping in for a bit. We appreciate that. All right. And maybe, depends on how we feel, maybe by the end of the stream, we'll show Lady Phatblood and Megan the trailer, and you'll get her reaction live. We'll see how it goes.
Oh boy.
We'll see. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Yes.
The only thing I know about Megan is that you told me that somebody told you, because I don't have Twitter. I know nothing about nothing about Twitter except it's
either Twitter or Instagram. It's one of those. I forgot which one it was.
Is that there's a possible Twitter war between Megan and Chucky right now?
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
all
funny.
I've heard.
Yeah, which is hilarious actually. There's beef, social media beef between Chucky and Megan, which is actually kind of funny. Let's see, Nigel, what's going on? Good to see you. Oh shit! But yeah, we'll see with that. We'll see if we could sneak that in towards the end of the stream. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So, up first we have Werewolf by Night. Yes, hold on. Let me scroll up to the images. I got some images here. Plot synopsis really quickly for those who have not seen it. Werewolf by Night follows a lycanthrope superhero who fights evil using the abilities given to him by a curse brought on by his bloodline, directed by one of our favorite composers.
Yeah, Michael Giacchino, who also did the music.
Yes.
He was doing double duty.
Yes.
So this was possibly the wild card in the bunch for the horror lineup that was due to hit us this month, where it could have been like the best of the bunch, but it also could have been the botched of the bunch, because
right.
It is Disney Marvel. Now,
Disney Plus.
As you know,
Yes,
we are old ass, crusty, curmudgeonly motherfuckers.
There's some crust.
And we have admitted,
yes,
Disney Marvel is no longer for us. And we're being honest. We're being completely honest and upfront. As of Thor: Love and Thunder, Love and Blunder,
Yes.
it is just simply no longer a media for us anymore. The TV shows aren't really for us, obviously.
Right.
The upcoming films, with very little exception, it's just not something that we're interested in anymore. And so Werewolf by Night, it was one of those where it's like, oh, it shows so much promise.
Yeah, because we did see the trailer.
Right.
And we were like, that looks fun. They're going for retros. We were like, okay. We got a shot.
We had very high hopes.
Yeah.
Possibly the highest hopes of the bunch, because honestly, not when it comes to reboots, not really like exceptionally excited for the Hellraiser reboot / reimagining. No invested interest in Halloween franchises at this point. And
spoilers.
No. I'm talking about the perspective.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, so this one was the wild card. It's either please be great, but possibly fun. Could have been because of Disney
Disney Plus Marvel. Yes.
So having gone into that with that mentality.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was this absolutely adorable? Quite possibly the best thing to come out of Disney.
Oh no, it is. It is. This I'm gonna this is just me. Okay. It's been a while since I actually loved something from Marvel. Like absolutely genuinely loved something from Marvel. Not just, oh, that was kind of fun, or I was entertained by that. I'm talking loved something from Marvel. It's been a long time. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And, you know, we enjoyed WandaVision a lot until it took a, what is it, trip for the worse second half. It just kind of fell off the rails second half. But to us, everyone's different. But to us, every single Disney Plus Marvel exclusive show has given us blue balls, has disappointed us in some way. And there's always something good in each show. There was something we did like, but overall, it was fucking terrible, right? Every single, so far, to us, everyone's different. Every single Disney Plus Marvel exclusive has dropped the ball. And to the point where we've given up. Like, we're just like, we're not even going to bother watching She-Hulk. We've given up, okay? And then out of nowhere, this little fun little gem called Werewolf by Night. Not only did I enjoy what I watched, because we love the old school Universal horror monster movies. We look at the intro to this video, okay? Invisible Man, werewolf, all that, the Wolfman, all that stuff. We love that kind of stuff, and you could tell when they made this little and this another plus, short and sweet. This movie is short and sweet. That's another plus. You can tell when you watch this film, you could tell there was an actual labor of love put into this. There was no, let's hit you overhead with a message that you're not in the mood to be preached to. None of that shit. None of that shit in here. Okay? You could just go in blind. You don't even have to know anything about the characters or the comic book history or anything like that. You can go in blind, watch it, enjoy the ride, and have a fun time. And not only did I enjoy the film, and it was as good as I was hoping it was going to be, this movie actually exceeded my expectations. And by the end, and we're going to get to it, I was losing it over here when I was sitting over here watching it. I was like, what? But we'll get to that. It's a good what. It's a good what. So I was not expecting to love something Marvel. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, this project is the best and most violent, the best Disney Plus Marvel exclusive. It is. It is. Bar none. And I hope Disney Plus does more of these short movies. Make them good, but does more of these films, these kind of Disney Plus exclusive type of movies. And I'm probably gonna end up enjoying them a lot more than the AAA projects. Well, but yeah, go for it.
Again, it was a kind of a testament to, like you were saying, it was short, sweet, to the point, but it also
Yeah.
it had about what, maybe 52 minutes to get its point across, get its characters across, and in 52 minutes, again, it was less than an hour.
Right.
You're introduced to the Elsa Bloodstone character. You're introduced to
There you go.
there you go.
This character was badass.
Right.
I love this character.
You're introduced to Jack, who is, like, spoilers. Okay, full spoilers.
Yeah, it's a spoiler stream.
He is the werewolf.
He's the werewolf. Yeah.
Now you kind of get the feeling that at first that he knows more. He's lying. He's lying about his place there amongst the hunters.
Yeah.
But they have this thing where the keeper of the bloodstone has died, and so now somebody must come forth to claim it.
Yes.
And Elsa, who was the daughter of the keeper of the bloodstone, she has parted ways with her father, and so she's no longer eligible to just inherit the bloodstone. And so these other hunters come forth, and to prove their worth, they're going to attach the bloodstone to this ultimate monster.
Right.
And
they don't go hunting.
Right. They have to hunt the monster.
Yeah.
Who the bloodstone is going to weaken it, but it's also going to piss it off in the process.
Right.
So they have to obtain the bloodstone by hunting the monster and killing the monster. Well, the monster, you find out, is
it's Ted.
It's Ted. And
Man-Thing.
Yes.
Who looks really good. They did a great job.
Yes.
I enjoyed his look in this film. Man-Thing, aka Ted.
Yes. And what you find out is that Jack and Ted are kind of like family-ish in a way, not necessarily related. We don't know. I don't know, because I don't know the lore, but there's a conversation that Jack and Elsa have that kind of insinuates that they have this history, kind of familial history, and that he's there to save Ted, obviously.
Right.
And so Jack and Elsa come up with this plan to, hey, I will help you get the bloodstone. In return, you help me get Ted out of here, and we both win. And obviously at first, Elsa doesn't trust him. Right. And obviously she finds out that he's a monster, and that causes like a bit of an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
And what I really love is, again, in 52 minutes, you have to establish this kind of kindred we don't trust, don't really trust each other, but we have to. And they end up forming this really good relationship with each other. And it's not a love relationship.
Thank God.
It's not it's no bullshit. It's just a survival and a dependence that we need to form this alliance against for the greater good against these other evil beings.
The greater good.
Yes. And again, in this short amount of time, you just get this really nice story between these two characters with these little side characters, these colorful cast of side characters on the side. And I just want to take a moment to take there.
I didn't notice this until she pointed it out, which is hilarious, but go ahead.
Which part? The actress?
Yeah, the actress. When you pointed her out, I didn't notice it at first.
Okay, so if you've never seen Frasier, there's a character on there played by Harriet Sansom Harris. And her name is BB Glazier.
Yeah.
And she is like the fucking most hilarious, like incessantly just crazy. Like she basically
she's Frasier's agent, right?
She's Frasier's off again, on again agent.
Right,
she's a great character actress who just like dominates she chews the absolute scenery every time she's on screen. And I got the impression that she was just kind of enjoying herself every time she was on screen here. So she kind of
she killed it in this.
Yes. It was really nice to see her. It was really nice to see her here.
Just
kind of like hamming it up in that classic kind of, again, 30s monster movie style.
Oh God. Like everyone's acting, like her little servant, her little butler servant was like, when he was cranking the crank to bring out the dead corpse of the husband there, who was animatronic, by the way.
Yeah, which
his face was just like,
yeah.
Like it was just so fun and charming. And then, not only was it just fun and charming, but for something to be TV-14, I was actually surprised. Oh, there's some badassity.
thanks to
in here.
Thanks to the choice to make it black and white.
Yes.
Which was a nice homage
Yes.
to the 30s and 40s
Right.
horror films in
Right.
the day. They were able to get away with a lot of stuff, both action-wise and kind of horror-wise, that they wouldn't have been able to get away with probably.
Right.
Had they not had it in the black and white.
But we'll take it. We'll take it.
I mean, absolutely.
We'll take it. But yeah, they try to team up. It doesn't work out well. And they both what was the characters again? Jack and Elsa both end up getting captured by BB, and basically, they want to hunt Werewolf now. They want to hunt Jack. They want Jack to transform to basically kill Elsa in the same cage they're in. That's what they want to do, because they could speed up. They could rapidly speed up.
The Bloodstone's going to cause him to, rapidly.
Right.
Because usually he's like, hey, I transform in the full moon, and you don't have to worry about it. And she's like, you idiot. The Bloodstone's gonna, and you're gonna just rip me to shreds. So could you just make it quick, please?
Yeah. But this scene right here is how you do it. This was one of the most coolest, not showing the transformation scenes in a long time. The actual amazing directing during this transformation scene right here, where the camera slowly zooms in on Elsa. She's freaking the fuck out as Jack is transforming in the background. This is so well done. This is so fucking good, man.
Yeah, and it's like, I feel like at this stage in the game, in this day and age, there have been a couple of a small handful of iconic werewolf transformation sequences that you're not going to be able to top in this day and age, especially with a small budget film like this. This kind of a film was not going to be able to top that with this kind of a budget, and especially with his look. He ended up looking more like Lon Chaney Jr.'s Wolfman than anything.
Yeah,
which is kind of how he looks in the comic, right?
Yeah.
So it was
I have no issues with his look. I thought he looked pretty badass.
He looks more like Man Wolf than Wolf Man, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So the transformation, there was no way you could get an on-screen transformation that's going to look any more impressive than we've seen in the past. So how do you work around that? You not only show it off screen, but you kind of homage the original kind of the old school movies by doing the zoom in with actresses reacting, because old school actresses reacted like this all the time, even though she wasn't quite as exaggerated. She wasn't screaming like
or she wasn't biting her hand.
Exactly. And she wasn't fainting, and she wasn't doing like that. It's just stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was this great zoom in, and you see the shadow in the background. It was all this atmosphere going on.
Yeah.
It was a great creative choice. I dug the hell out of it. You were losing your mind.
Well, I lost my mind because, again, like I'm saying, like I wasn't expecting any kind of badassity to happen, especially for something for TV 14. But let me tell you something. As soon as he transformed, it was fucking chaos. It was beautiful, filmed chaos. He takes on the other hunters that are there. It's fucking great. When I saw, and Michael filming the action sequences how they're supposed to be filmed, filming the fight sequences how they're supposed to be filmed, none of this shaky cam shit, none of this quick cut editing, actually showing the stuntmen do what they do best. And I was sitting over here and I lost it because I was like, what? I was like, no, get the fuck out. No. I was doing that because if you watch the guy who plays Werewolf, he is sliding. He's doing these sliding attacks. He's whipping around the stuntmen, cutting their throats. He's doing all this. He's jumping off the wall. The stuntmen are reacting to him, trying to fight back. They're getting fucked up. I was not expecting any of this at all, especially on a Disney Plus exclusive short film. So this was blowing my mind. Okay. This was blowing my mind. And even before we got to the chaos right here, the beautifully chef's kiss filmed chaos, we did have some good action during the chase in the maze earlier when they were hunting Ted, when they were hunting Man-Thing. We had some pretty good fights and action here and there off and on. But this, when he became Werewolf, it was fucking beautiful chaos. And I was not expecting this at all. At all. So I was just like, yo, this is fucking great, man. Like I was like even more excited for what we were watching. But yeah, just good shit.
Yeah. And it was, this could be a testament to the source material. Again, I wouldn't know because I haven't read it.
Yeah.
But in this day of modern Disney Marvel writing,
Yeah.
it's really nice to see a female character that's strong and competent, but also she takes her licks.
Mm-hmm.
She's vulnerable in
Yeah.
some points, but
Mhm.
she's not like constantly in a position to show up the man and make the man look like an idiot. They're both on equal footing.
Mm-hmm.
They both have their time to shine.
Are you hearing this?
Neither of them, it's like she's not there to make the man look weak.
Mm-hmm.
And neither of them are there to make either one of them look better or worse than each other.
It's teamwork.
And it's rare. I'm sorry.
It's,
you can disagree with me. You can feel free to disagree with
That's
me.
fine.
If you like current Disney Marvel writing, more power to you.
Yeah.
But everything that I've been seeing these days, I feel like the women characters that I see a lot of the times, they're meant to be so highly propped up that all they do is kind of like shit on the men. And the men are like just there to prop up the women, like, oh, women are just so this and that. There's nothing wrong with strong, capable women characters.
Right.
But when you've got the men characters that are just so nothing, it's like, what are you doing?
Right.
We want characters that are on equal footing.
Yeah.
That's what good writing does. You want characters that are there to support each other. That's why you've got good guys and bad guys, protagonists and antagonists, not, oh, well, you've got good females and bad, you got good females and good males, but the females are always better than the males in some way. Right. That's terrible writing.
It's bad writing.
And it's bad. It's a bad look for women in general.
It is.
It's just it doesn't make me feel better about myself as a woman.
Boom.
So
you want real talk, you're gonna get it here, man.
So it was really nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice to see.
I loved her.
It was really nice to see a woman in this position who was very strong, very capable.
She's badass.
But she got caught.
Yeah.
She got locked up.
She got beat up in some of the fights.
She was terrified.
Yeah.
When he turned into a werewolf because she was like, I'm probably going to get eaten.
Yeah.
She knew that she was in danger.
Yeah.
There was never this moment where she was like, oh, I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to. No, she was scared shitless.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to see.
Yeah.
I'm just.
A real character written well? Female character written well? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to see them in a series together, Elsa and Jack. Let's go. I wanted to see that, but most likely this is kind of a one and done, especially when we get to the end here, which was hilarious. So after the carnage, he kills everyone, gets free. Elsa helps him out, but then Elsa gets the Bloodstone, right?
Yeah.
She gets the Bloodstone. She takes over the estate, and Jack leaves, but Ted, it was hilarious. Like right after all this carnage, Jack leaves, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, oh no, yeah, BB shows up to try to take Elsa out. And then Man-Thing, aka Ted, just comes out of nowhere and just smashes her. And he's like, "Hey, where the fuck's Ted? Like where's Ted?" And she's like, "He went that way." He's like, "All right, cool." Dap, right? And then he gets Jack's coat, and then the show morphs into color, and Man-Thing just
with Somewhere Over the Rainbow, right?
Yeah, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and then it merges into the color, and Man-Thing's there chilling, playing solitaire, waiting for Jack to wake up. He's got coffee there for him. And they had this fun back and forth. Like, he's like, "Nah, man, I saved you." He's like, "Nah, man, I saved you." Some fun stuff like that. Brilliant. Short just and sweet, fun, badass, adorable. No annoying characters. And just, I'm telling you, a labor of love from everyone that's involved. Just a labor of, you could tell they had so much fun with my man here, Kirk R. Thatcher. That's right. Yeah, you could tell they had so much fun. So this really surprised me, and I'm sticking with it until something comes out that's better. I'm still sticking with Werewolf by Night being my absolute favorite Disney Plus exclusive Marvel property. It's my favorite,
for sure,
better than anything else that's there as of right now. Is there anything else before we rate it and move on?
No.
No? All right. C is average here on our channel. What are you giving Werewolf by Night? Oh yeah, the sound design, beautiful. Oh, and music was great too. I forgot to mention that.
I'm going with an A. It was easy.
A.
Easy A.
Bam. God damn it. Every time, sometimes I think I'm going to be higher than her, right? It's just she one ups me. Like, I'm gonna stick with mine here. A- from me. It is so much fun, short and sweet, fun practical effects, fun visual effects, fantastic music, great sound effects, beautiful fight choreography. You can actually see the fight choreography. Just so much fun. Like I was not expecting to. What did I say to you? I remember now. I said to her, I said, I have not stopped smiling since I started watching this.
Yeah.
All the way to the end. So A- from Samurai Guy, A from Lady Phatblood.
A for adorable.
There you go. All right. There we go. We have some other badasses here. Give it an A plus. Look at that. And 100, 10 out of 10. Nice. All right. So now let's go ahead and move it on to Hellraiser.
Oh no.
Yes, it's time.
So soon.
Yes, Hellraiser.
So soon, my little dude.
Yeah. All right. And Lady Phatblood, I'm glad she's here because she's going to be spitting some real facts.
Oh, okay.
Because all of you badasses that are new.
Am I up?
Not yet. All of you badasses that are new here, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. We appreciate you guys being here. Just a quick reminder, those of you that are new to the channel, quick reminder, Hellraiser is Lady Phatblood shit. This is her world. This is her domain.
My domain.
She knows her shit.
This is my dominion.
So you're about to be educated on a few things as well as me.
Okay.
I'm going to be educated on a few things as well.
Let's calm it down a bit. Okay. Let's calm it down.
I'm talking about for those of you that are watching that don't know.
Calm it down. Okay.
They're going to learn and I'm going to learn a few things.
Let's calm it down because, I've not gotten into the graphic novels or anything like that. I'm not that hardcore into the lore.
This is your domain now. There you go.
Tune it down.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
all right. Here we go.
Just a little bit.
All right. Okay. Hellraiser.
So, did you want to do the synopsis?
All right. Let's do the plot synopsis here. It's directed by David Bruckner. We've enjoyed two of his films that we have seen so far, The Ritual and The Night House. So we had faith that he would do a solid adaptation of Hellraiser. Plot synopsis, really quick. So here we go. A take on Clive Barker's 1987 horror classic where a young woman struggling with addiction comes into possession of an ancient puzzle box, unaware that its purpose is to summon the motherfucking Cenobites. There we go. And Pinhead is played by, the priest is played by Jamie Clayton, and Riley is played by Odessa Azion. And we'll get to some more of that. But that's the basic plot synopsis right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I had said earlier.
Here we go.
Like I had said earlier.
Yeah.
This was one that I was not looking forward to so much as I was understandably curious because, as I've stated in the past, the first Hellraiser film is like a comfort movie to me. Like that movie is a hug to me.
You're hearing this, right?
That's
some hardcore shit.
I will put on that movie if I want to go to sleep. I'll put on that
Hellraiser
movie if I want to cross stitch or paint or just I'll have it on in the background when I'm doing stuff. Like I adore the film. I love listening to the commentary, even though I've heard it a billion times. I just love the movie. Okay. I love the atmosphere. I love the score. I just
classic.
love the movie.
Yeah, it's a classic.
I love the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a really long time to read the short story. But I did eventually buy it. And
research.
I reread it just before the Hulu film came out, just to kind of refresh because everybody, not everybody. Let me
Some people.
Let me tone down my exaggeration here. Let me tone myself down. Some people was telling me, oh, but it's going to be closer to the source material. I'm like thinking to myself, because I had seen the trailer at this point, and I'm thinking to myself, Sweet Pea, beloved, honey pie, cupcake. Have you read the novella? And have you seen the first movie? They're almost identical.
They are.
They're almost identical. There are very, very few differences. They're small, but they're important differences. But it's almost the same goddamn story. Almost the same story.
The original.
There's only a few differences. I am biased when it comes to the movie, but I feel like the changes they made for the movie, thematically and from a storytelling perspective, made them better. Okay. I feel like the movie that they told the story that they told in the first movie made for a better story than in here, even though there are more descriptive things that happen in here that for a book read, because again, it's a very short story. It's called a novella, but it's a very short story. But from a descriptive point of view, you get more meat in here. You even get a conversation that takes place between Frank and the 4 Cenobites that he meets before they tear him apart.
Right.
Much more descriptive of what happens. Because if you remember the very first movie, he opens the box, the chains come, and then he gets ripped apart. And then you see the Cenobites really quick, and they're playing with his bits, and then boom, nothing. And it's just the empty,
right,
the empty room. And then we get our movie.
Playing with bits.
Playing with his bits.
Okay.
Not those bits. His body, the whole entire body bits. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So having wrapped my head around the fact that people are telling me, oh, it's going to be closer to the source material. I'm like, I see the trailer. My brain is like, no, it's not, because it's already been done.
Yeah.
And I saw the trailer, and the trailer was nothing. It's like, why remake the first movie?
Right.
No point. Okay?
There's no point. Yeah.
And then I see the trailer, and I'm like, no, they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own thing. So stop telling me that they're anyway.
Yeah.
So not looking forward to it, but obviously I'm curious, because you got to remember, Hellraiser 1 and 2, first 2 films are the most connected.
Right.
Then you get the third one that's loosely connected, and it goes off the rails.
But it's fun.
Goes off the absolutely rails. Okay. And then the fourth one, there was a good movie in there somewhere. Right. But studio interference completely fucked it up. Director left, took his name off. He got kicked out of editing room, all that good shit. And then you get Bloodline with Alan Smithy credit. And then after that, it was nothing but scripts that had nothing to do with Hellraiser converted into Hellraiser stories. And then you had obviously the last 2, which were cash grabs it wasn't a cash grab so much as we need to retain the rights. The studio wanted to retain the rights. And so they made Hellraiser Revelations in like a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah. And it
something
shows.
Like that.
Yeah, it shows.
Which was awful.
Right.
And then they had Judgment, which nobody liked.
Right.
Now Judgment tried to do its own thing and certain things here and there. Nobody liked it. And so now you end up with what we have now.
Right.
A series that's coming soon, apparently, to HBO. And you have this Hulu reboot / reimagining.
Quick question. In the book, was Frank defiant or crapping his pants?
Was he defiant?
Or was he crapping his pants?
Oh, when it came to
the book.
When he first met the Cenobites?
I guess that's what Reese is asking there.
If that's what you mean? When he first met the Cenobites?
Is that what you mean, Reese?
Well, okay, when he realized, because he's playing with a box, and he doesn't realize that things are he doesn't realize that things are going on at first. Yeah. And then when he realizes that the Cenobites are coming up, like when he realizes that the Cenobites are in the room, and he realizes, oh my God, I had no idea what I was summoning, because he knew that there were things coming, but he had no idea that he had no idea what to imagine, because it's Cenobites, flayed skin, hooks, chains, pins, blah, blah, blah. Right. So when he finally sees them, he's like, oh my God, what have I done? But it's too late now. I've summoned them.
Okay.
So when he finally sees them and he starts having conversations with them, and then they start putting the sensations on him before they rip him apart. They gave him like all these sensations, basically. Basically, the first sensations that they gave him, hypersensitive sound, hypersensitive feeling, hypersensitive taste, hypersensitive sight. It's too much for him. It overwhelms him, and then nothing, and then everything, like they just rip him apart. Okay, that's what it's implied.
Okay.
So it's
Then they play with his bits. Okay. What's up, Junko? Thanks for popping in. He said he loves your Godzilla trailer reaction. So good to see you, Junko. All right. All right. Here we go.
So, having said all of that,
okay, we've cleared the air.
Going into this,
yes. You accepted. You were like, okay.
I was like, okay, they're doing
their own thing. Let's see what happens.
And then when you see the trailer, you kind of saw that the box was noticeably different. And I'm like, okay, so we're doing our own thing. Now in the movies, we had two different configurations. You had the Lament configuration and you had the Leviathan configuration, because established in the second movie. And you never really saw, as far as I can remember, you never saw the Leviathan configuration after that. Oh, you had the Elysium configuration, but that was Hellraiser Bloodline, and it wasn't a configuration so much as a giant thing in space that contained everything. But that's a whole other story. Whole other story.
Right.
Okay. So when you see all these other boxes in the trailer, you don't see everything, but you see like these other configurations. Like, okay, they are doing their own thing.
Right.
Just completely their own thing. So I'm like, okay, now you have to accept this movie on its own terms.
Right.
So going into the movie, you open up with this rich dude.
Voight.
Yes.
Right.
Summoning, like luring this kid into his lair.
Right.
And it's obvious that he has lured him and he has tricked him into opening the box.
Right.
Now, in the established rules of this film.
Okay. Of this movie. Okay.
It's not your personal desire to open the box that summons the Cenobites. It is the opening of the box. The box pricks you with a blade, and the blood opens the box and calls the Cenobites, and then they come and get you. And that's the one thing that loses me in this film.
Okay.
Is that Voight, the main antagonist of the movie, if you will, he hatches this plan where at the beginning of the movie, it's established that he opens the box. It changes into the Leviathan configuration. You see stuff in it, he has this spiel where, I'm a humble servant and all that.
I want an audience.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the next time you see him, he has this mechanism in his chest. And you come to find out that he chose, because in this lore, they established that once you're granted an audience with God after the sixth configuration is opened, the Leviathan configuration, you are granted a gift of your choosing between the six configurations, either knowledge, love, sensation, power, blah, 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 blah. Okay. He chose sensation. Well, there's always a caveat in the gifts that the Cenobites grant you, and they chose the sensation that he chose bit him in the ass.
Right.
And that's this giant mechanism, and it fucks with them. And so the whole movie is basically his design. Okay. So we're introduced to the character of Riley, her brother.
Yes.
His boyfriend.
We're introduced to
her boyfriend.
Discount Chris Evans and Russian Doll.
Right. And then there's a pointless Cenobite fodder character that's a roommate. So being introduced to all of these characters, the only reason that they are roped into all of this is because Voight had a plan. And his plan was to get a second audience with God, Leviathan, and say, I want this taken out of me. I changed my mind. I don't like the sensation. It's been 6 years. This sucks. I changed my mind. This is awful.
Yeah.
So my problem with this established lore and this established rules is that what happens if one person that isn't involved in a grand master plan just stumbles over the box and they open the box and they get pricked and the Cenobites come, and it's like, what's in it for the Cenobites of just one soul? Because before it was desire calls the Cenobites. The desire to open the box brings forth the Cenobites, and the Cenobites, we have such sights to show you. We have such pleasure and pain to show you.
We have such sights to show you.
So it's like, what would have been the plan without Voight? Like the Cenobites, what do they get out of just one soul? Because at one point, Riley, the character,
yes,
she goes to open the box, and the Cenobites are like, "This was meant for you. but it
Right.
misses her. It doesn't open her up because she's on drugs at one point.
Right.
And so it doesn't cut her open. And it ends up going for other people that end up just happening to open the box. And the way the box works in this sometimes is really stupid. She gets into a little physical tussle with one lady, and it accidentally triggers the mechanism and cuts the lady open. And that brings the Cenobites forward. At one point, they figure that the blood of another Cenobite is acceptable, which I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, there are little things in this
I don't know
movie.
about that, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah, there are little things in this movie. It's kind of like, I don't know about this. Like, sometimes I feel like people miss the point, the original point of the Cenobites.
Right.
You know, but this is the established, this is like the established world and the established rules that this movie created for itself, whether I agree with it or not. Okay. So I'm kind of like trying to roll with it.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't really like this so much, and I don't really like that so much. Like the box just being so simple to open in a fucking physical altercation. Stupid.
Yeah, because the puzzle box in the original movies, it's been a long time since I've seen them. They were very difficult to open, right?
It's a puzzle box.
Right.
It's supposed to be tricky.
Right.
It's supposed to be like you kind of have to play with it, and there are parts and pieces that you have to. It's tricky. It's supposed to be tricky to get into, not just tussle. It's open.
But you spotted while we were watching this, you spotted an Easter egg for the fans here.
I think it was meant to be an Easter egg. The box in its lament configuration shape is stored in a safe in a warehouse with 55 on it, which the address in the original story or the original movie / story, the address was 55 Ludovico Street.
Okay, so that
I think
might be a Easter egg.
It seems
kind
of odd that it was a 55.
Yeah,
like, it seems kind of like a random coincidence. So probably not.
Right.
Probably not a coincidence. But what I did, there were a couple things that I did like.
Okay. There's some good stuff in there.
There was a description in when Frank first opens the box in the novella.
Okay.
Where right at the very beginning, when he's playing with the box, and it says he did not hear the great bell begin to ring.
Right.
And one of the things that happens in this movie is every time a Cenobite starts to go out, like every time the Cenobites are summoned, and it goes after a victim, you hear a bell.
That was fucking cool.
And
that was cool.
Yeah. And
that's cool.
And it's not just part of the soundtrack. It's not like it's part of the soundtrack. You actually, like, one of the characters even acknowledges, I hear bells. And I like that.
That was cool.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, that's
nice. You hear the Taco Bell and you are fucked. You are fucked. What did you think of these Cenobite designs?
You know what? Again, I'm so biased of the first movie and of 80s practical effects. Watching it a second time, I watched it twice now. Watching it a second time, they flip-flop for me.
Right.
I don't think the Hell Priest was terrible. I've heard some people complain, why does it look like she has pins in her head as opposed to nails? And I can kind of chalk that up to you because in the book, they are described as being jeweled pins.
Okay.
So the nails were kind of more of a creative decision, I think, to show up more on camera in the originals.
In the original, yeah.
And even throughout the series, you can see they kind of get bigger as the makeup gets older. I mean, the makeup gets more and more younger, I guess, per movie. You know, the first movie, they're not as prominent. It's like by the third movie, they look like full on nails in the third movie.
Right.
Like nails.
I prefer the nails over it's a lot more intimidating look, but I mean, they're following the book, so that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I can accept it.
I didn't really like the second kind of main prominently featured Cenobite that had kind of like, and if you know what I'm talking about, the Angelique Cenobite from Hellraiser Bloodline, where there was the peeled skin, and she had like the one also from and you just showed her. Yeah, that one. I wasn't crazy about that one. And part of it is if you actually freeze frame any of them.
Yeah.
And you actually like stop and look at any of them, they're very beautiful suits, but they look like suits. They look like people in very beautiful, well manicured suits. And then you go back and you look at the designs and the suits and the makeup and the prosthetics from the 80s, and they're just dripping with blood and like KY jelly, literally KY jelly, and just bits. Like you've got Frank walking around. Like some people have said that this movie looks too clean. I absolutely agree.
It does.
And why was that? And we were talking with your friend.
My buddy Joe Valley mentioned that though.
But it was another friend of yours.
Which one?
Kyle.
Oh yeah, Kyle Long.
We were talking. He was like, it looks too clean, and I was like, yeah. And think about why that is. The first movie, you start off in this grungy, filthy house with cockroaches, rats, maggot-infested food, rotten food everywhere. A guy died in this room in the top of this house, and the blood of his brother brings him back by him reforming into this human husk, and his ex, one-time lay has to kill people to bring him back. But when he does start to get brought back, he's nothing but flayed flesh and skin and dripping with ooze and blood and
juicy.
Yeah, it's literal. It's a filthy, grimy movie. You feel kind of
you want to take a shower. Yeah.
So,
this you're good. You're good. You don't have to take a shower.
The dirtiest thing you really feel in this movie is just being with the character of Riley, who's a recovered addict.
Yes.
And she's the only one who looks kind of dirty and grimy.
Yeah, but she's supposed to be,
Yeah, and that's only because by design, she's kind of dirty and grimy.
But like you said here, like you said, when you freeze frame some of the Cenobites, they don't look as well. But then when you get them in the right lighting and stuff, it does work. And I think this was our favorite Cenobite, right?
Yes. Yeah, he was the only one that really, really stood out to me.
Especially when you see him walking around.
When you walk around, when you look at him from the side, he's actually just this. He's like this mounted face.
Yeah, his head is just like this.
It's just like this. There's no actual skull. There's no brain. There's nothing. He's just like this mounted face stretched out on a rack.
He's thin head.
I thought he was the most fascinating character design, because other than that, you've got like this bootleg chatterer that didn't really look any better than the original.
This one that looked like a bat, like the big huge eyes. It looked weird.
Was he the one that the fingers, the hands?
Yeah,
the hands like did this weird stretchy, like they just like this disconnected from each other and just like
the good news about the little nitpicks that we're saying is it still works. It still looks good.
Yeah,
it's not like the Cenobites look like crap.
Yeah, so the story is kind of. The story at first was reminding me of the Evil Dead remake, where you've got this former recovering drug addict. She has like all these hangups, and she's got like this brother who's trying to help her out or whatever, but she's problematic. She's got this problematic boyfriend who's basically like, hey, I know about this box in this warehouse, because if you need some money, hey, I can get you some. Well, he doesn't say it's a box at first. He says, oh, hey, there might be some money. There's this millionaire stash. I don't know what's in there, but people never go there anymore, so we can go steal it. And at first she's like, no, but we need money. So they go do it. And it turns out to just be the box.
Right.
And her and her brother get in a fight. She leaves. She accidentally opens the box in a drug stupor. But the blade that comes out, again, that's supposed to get the blood and some of the Cenobites, misses her. Her brother comes out and looks for her. He plays with he touches the box and the blade is already sticking out, so the blade gets him. He ends up getting claimed by the Cenobites, and then we have our adventure where
because they she was in her own way, she accidentally chose someone else for them, because they ask her, if not you, give us another, and then it cuts to them going to the brother, choosing the brother. I thought, right?
Well, later on.
Oh, later. Okay.
Later on, because later on she's getting ready to throw the box.
Because that's why the chains come out of her.
Well, yeah,
right.
Yeah, that does happen.
Okay.
But later on, they flat out
come out of Riley.
They flat out because she's getting ready to throw the box away, because at this point, they've gone to Voight's mansion, they've escaped. But then she's getting ready to throw the box over the bridge because the Asian roommate has died at that point.
Right.
And she's getting ready to throw the box, and the hell priest Pinhead is like, cuts her with the box and is like, now you have to choose.
Gotcha.
Like fully, now you really, really have to choose, because now it's your blood is in our hands.
Okay.
So again, the rules are kind of loose and fast. And
Right. Okay.
the thing with the Cenobites that also were kind of loopy in this is that when in the book, when the Cenobites were after you, you were the only one that could see it.
Right.
But in this one, by the time the end of the movie hits, everybody can see the Cenobites.
Yeah.
And they're like physically completely manifested on Earth in this one. It's not like a half and half realm between heaven and hell or anything like that. Like even Voight's built this like metal prison around his house where the Cenobites can't get through. It's very lopsided and kind of half-assed the way they wrote their own rules in their own story. And you just kind of have to like, okay, this is your story.
Right. Let's see where it goes.
This is your gig.
Mm-hmm.
It's your own thing. So I'm trying to go with it. And again, some of it I was okay with, and some of it I was just like, this is fucking stupid.
Right. But Riley, in this point in the story, Riley's, the brother gets taken.
Right.
And now she's like on this mission to figure out what happened to her brother.
Right.
That's majority of the film is her.
Right.
And she figures out,
by the time they get to Voight's mansion,
she figures out
by the time they get to Voight's mansion, they realize that he knew about all of the lore. He figured out all the lore, and they realized that there are the 6 configurations, and there were 6 different stages. And once you get the audience with God, resurrection is one of the stages and one of the wishes that you can be granted. And she's like, hey, do you see where I'm going with this? If we can get to the Leviathan stage, we can be granted an audience with God, and I can get my brother back.
Right.
And it was like, okay, well, all right. Again, this is your lore. This is a whole different ballpark. It's a whole different ball game. And so by the time the movie ends, we're basically left with Riley, the boyfriend, who he was in on it with Voight the whole time.
Right. Discount Chris Evans.
Right. The brother's boyfriend, and Riley and Voight, it gets kind of loopy at the end. Like it gets loopy at the end because once they discover that you can sacrifice a Cenobite with the box.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
This was kind of like,
yeah. Once they realize you can sacrifice a Cenobite with a box, they come up with this plan to trap another Cenobite in the mansion so that they can sacrifice it to get to the Leviathan configuration, because they're on the second to the last configuration. So once they do that, they all get separated. Voight shows up and he botches the whole thing. He wounds the boyfriend, the brother's boyfriend with the box. And Riley's boyfriend is like, you didn't have to do that. We could have used the Cenobite. And Voight's like, it doesn't matter. It's done. And so again, it gets really loopy at the end. And then Riley ends up sacrificing the boyfriend with the Leviathan configuration. So they both ended up making a blood sacrifice. So in the end, Voight makes his plea with Leviathan, and Riley ends up getting her audience with the Cenobites. So Voight gets his wish granted of getting the mechanism taken out of his chest, and he gets, for a minute, he gets all of his innards restored. But the caveat being, you don't get a gift from the Cenobites and Leviathan without there being a big but in all of it. Okay. And he ends up being turned into like they're like, no, you don't really want to be restored. We were wrong about you, Voight. We were wrong about what you really want. You didn't want sensation. You don't want any of it. You really wanted power, and we're going to give you power. So what it looks like by the end of everything, it looks like he gets turned into a Cenobite.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Which was a very interesting artistic scene.
It was pretty cool, actually.
It was very nice to look at.
Yeah.
But if you notice, he's also in Leviathan when this happens, and he's also attached to this thing, and he stays put on this thing. He stays like affixed to this thing. Yeah. So who knows what his fate actually is? He's part Cenobite, part what is he? Like, what is he? We don't know. We don't really know his full fate. It looks on the surface, it looks like he's being turned, but maybe something more nefarious is going on. Like, is he
Yeah.
a soul for Leviathan? Is he powering Leviathan? Is he? Who knows?
We don't know.
We don't know
until the sequel. Yeah.
Oh God.
Hold on.
Oh.
Shout out to NMJ Films. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. I'll be chatting with you soon. Good to see you in the chat.
So Riley gets her audience with the Cenobites,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, so what do you want? And she's like, you know what? I've seen your gifts, and I don't want anything from you because I know it's going to bite me in the ass. And they show her an image of her brother, and they're like, and she's like, I don't want anything from you. And she's like, okay, so you've chosen lament. You've chosen the lament configuration. And the box is in the lament configuration, the traditional lament configuration. Yeah. And you've chosen a life of regret. All the decisions that you made, everything that has happened, you've chosen to live with that and carry that weight. So she chooses not to resurrect her brother, which I thought, it's kind of a downer ending. I'm like, okay, I can live with that. I can live with that ending. And again,
because it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, it wrapped around. So again, this was one of the things.
There's no bargaining with the Cenobites and the priest.
So it was like, I thought that was a nice touch. It's like, again, this falls into the category of something that I kind of liked, because Hellraiser, it's never really a happy or sad ending. It's like, if you go back to the original, it's like the first movie. It's like, yeah, Kirsty got out of the house alive, but the box is still out there. Her dad is still dead, like killed horribly by his brother, betrayed by his wife, who hated him all along anyway. So she's gone through this horrible, traumatic thing, but the box is still out there somewhere, and she barely survived by herself. Her dad's gone. And then by the second movie, her dad is still, she was tricked into thinking her dad was in hell, and she went to go rescue him. That didn't work out. Yeah. So she again escapes with her life and with Tiffany. But, a lot of shit went down. A lot of people died in that hospital, and, it never really, truly happened. And then the pillar comes out of the blood-soaked mattress, and Pinhead's evil is still alive. Everybody, all the shit that went down, the evil is still there in the pillar and all that. So, it's never really a fully happy ending. So I like the kind of downer ending of this. It's like, even she didn't know if she made the right decision in the end. So I liked that. But yeah, some of the rules and some of the things that went down in the movie. And again, I don't know about the Cenobites just being there as lackeys just for the sake of being lackeys. And that's what I feel like the Cenobites have gotten turned into over the years, where before they were just these creatures that were, explorers in the further realms of heightened, like, ridiculous sensations and experiences. And they do that to other people. That's just what the demons to some, angels to others, blah, blah, blah. There you go. You know, it's like, and now they're just straight up villains that kill people.
Right.
That's just, it seems like, and that's
they become monsters of the week.
Yeah. And even though Hellraiser 3 was guilty of that, it was almost accepted because they wrote it into the story that Elliot Spencer and Pinhead were separated from each other in Hellraiser 2. Right. And so when Elliot's soul was freed from Pinhead, his evil went off and ran amok. So it was kind of like, oh, I'll accept it that Pinhead's a slasher that laughs maniacally and doesn't give a shit anymore and goes to Earth and just kills a shit ton of people in a nightclub. Fine. I'll take it. It's funny. Yeah. So, it's like, it's just, it was just kind of, yeah. I was fine with some of the things in the movie. As far as the look of the film, there was a lot of interesting things that the director does.
There were some great visuals. Hold on a second. Okay. So this is what we thanks Night One says, the one with the split arms. Some people are calling it the Weeper. Okay. So this is what we're talking about, how some things we thought was cool and some other things we were like, I don't know about that. The Cenobite should not be, up for grabs of destruction from the priest, because the one with the split arms was the one that, stabbed. Riley stabbed with the box. And now the priest and the other Cenobites have to go after that one. And then they pull apart.
Was it that one? I thought it was Chatter.
Well, no, it was the one with the forearm looking thing. Okay. And they pull it apart, which that was another thing with this movie, is that the blood was off and on too. Some of the blood was legit. Mm. and badass, and some of the blood was CG. Like when they pulled apart the Weeper, it looked like shit, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It didn't look good. But then you have this scene, which looked fucking great in terms of practical effects.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, back to you were talking about the visuals.
So the visuals, what the director, some of the things that the director did that I really enjoyed was having something in the foreground, focusing on it, and then having something going on in the background, like at the very beginning when Voight is summoning Leviathan at the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
And he's doing his thing, and then you see his victim in the background getting hoisted up with the chains.
Yeah, that was
he's
cool.
obviously getting tortured.
Yeah.
You see something going on in the foreground, and then in the background you see a Cenobite walk by. And
when the Cenobites are coming,
in focus,
the background moves around and shit.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Something that they focused on a lot more was when the Cenobites come, the atmosphere, the walls around them change. Now they did that a little bit in the originals, but they did it a lot more when the Cenobites were coming for people in this, like the scene where the roommate is getting it in the van. And they're in the van and they're trying to run away from Voight's house.
Yeah.
And
Jesse, it could have been worse. It could have been just her regular voice.
And what the oddest here's
it could have been just her regular voice with nothing
thing.
enhanced to it.
Let me tell you something.
It could have been a lot worse.
Let me tell you something about the most bizarre thing.
Can you imagine if it was just her regular voice? That would have been terrible.
The most bizarre thing about the Cenobite, the Hell Priest, was they cast a female for the Cenobite.
Right.
And the which who cares? It's fine. Do what you want because this is your own gig.
Right.
Okay. Now the Cenobite in the story, some of them were, the gender wasn't really clear and some of them were very clear. Okay. Again, there were only 4, and then by the end the engineer shows up and he's kind of like the keeper of the box, or it, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So in the story, Pinhead, to my recollection, I'm trying to like here, let me its voice, unlike that of its companion, was light and breathy, the voice of an excited girl. Every inch of its head had been tattooed with an intricate grid, and at every intersection of horizontal and vertical axis, a jeweled pin driven through to the bone.
There you go.
Pinhead had a female voice. So this is what baffles me. You went out of your way. You went out of your way.
What's up, Fonzie?
To cast who you cast as Pinhead.
Okay.
And you didn't utilize the voice.
So you're saying that you're agreeing with Jesse here that they should not have had the enhanced part of the voice. They should just had her just talk normal.
Well, here's the thing. Doug Bradley's voice was enhanced.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have an issue with that.
No, I'm saying Doug Bradley's voice was enhanced down.
Right. And I'm perfectly fine with that.
If you were going to enhance this actress's voice.
Right, which they did.
You should have pitched it up.
Oh. That would not have worked.
I'm just saying.
That would have made her less intimidating. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
It would have made her less intimidating.
I'm just saying.
We have such sights to show you. You know how bad that would have killed everything.
No, but it's like if you think about it.
Yeah.
What they chose to do with the Hell Priest's throat.
Yeah.
The voice could have been affected. So if you pitched it up and made it kind of breathlessly feminine, it wouldn't have sounded super high pitched and feminine like Minnie Mouse. It wouldn't have sounded stupid.
Okay, that's what I thought you were going.
It would have been pitched up, but like, it could have made it sound like there was wisps and winds going through it and kind of unearthly and unsettling. It could have worked, but what I'm saying is, you go and cast a female,
right?
And then you do it to the voice where it's like it could be either or.
Right.
It makes no sense to me.
Right.
But
did you want to see more?
I didn't hate the voice is all I'm saying. It's like, if
Yeah, I
you hate the
didn't-
voice, I'm not going to die on that hill. You hate the voice all you want.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that's perfectly fine.
No worries.
To each their own.
That's your own
But-
personal, you know.
But did you feel that the priest? I feel that for what the actress was given to do and for what dialogue she was given, I think she did the best that she was given. Basically, she did the best she could for what she was given. I feel like she didn't feel, to me, she felt like she was just one of the Cenobites. She
Well-
didn't feel like,
And
I don't know. Like I wanted when this version, when the hell priest shows up, it's like, holy fucking shit, man.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I feel like every time she showed up, it was kind of cool visually to see her, but I felt like she was just there with the others, and she was, I don't know, didn't really feel like a leader to me.
Yeah.
But I thought the actress did a good job for what she was given. Did you want to see more of her? Do you think they could have gave her more to do, or maybe show a little bit more personality than just smile once in a while? Or you think it was perfectly fine? Did you want to see more of her?
Here's the problem. Here's the kind of like the ultimate problem with Hellraiser
Yeah.
in general. When
You show her too much, it doesn't work.
This is what happens
Okay.
when you read this, and even when you watch the first movie.
Okay.
Okay. The Cenobites are not the focus
Right.
in this and the first movie, and even in the second movie, they're not really the focus. It's about the humans.
Right.
And what happened was, and even Pinhead
Mm-hmm.
was credited only as lead Cenobite
Okay.
in the first movie.
Right.
Okay. And what happened was his look became so iconic and so startling and so memorable.
Fucking 80s.
Yeah. And especially in his voice and the way he carried himself and the way he spoke his lines, his very, very, very few lines of dialogue, that everyone gravitated towards him. Even in the second movie originally, they didn't expect the Cenobites to kind of, especially Pinhead, to steal the show the way they did. If you watch the story of Hellraiser 2, Julia, of all people, was the one that they brought back to be the Queen of Hell.
Right.
They thought people were going to be more invested in the humans and Julia and her, Yeah. And that's why they were kind of poised to make Julia the baddie. And that's kind of, you look at, they killed the Cenobites in Hellraiser 2. Chenard, as soon as he was created, the Cenobites regained their humanity, and they were sniped. Like it
was kind of fucking cool.
Yeah. They were,
because we had an altercation.
But they were sniped. Like they didn't even get in a lick. Like they didn't even get in one.
Which I can accept a super powered Cenobite versus other Cenobites, and he's stronger.
Yeah.
But not Riley doing the Pierce box thing on one of the Cenobites, and they kill it. They kill their own, which is already dead. It just doesn't make sense.
So now people, because after 10 movies, not counting this one, everyone has come to kind of expect Pinhead to make this grand appearance and to just be like the focus. And
so you didn't mind it. You didn't mind her being more like the novel and just being one of the Cenobites and just kind of being on the Cenobite team.
I still feel like she
once in a while throws the
I
football Hail Mary chains.
I feel like she had
on the victims
a little bit more to do. I again, the Angelique kind of Asian looking Cenobite. Again, I did not like her design at all. I felt like she was kind of like the second runner up in terms of like she had the most.
I feel like we've seen her more than the priest.
Sometimes I feel like we did see her a little bit more. I didn't like her design at all.
Right.
I didn't really like her presence at all. Again, she came off as more of a villain.
Right.
And it's like, I don't like the Cenobites being portrayed as like,
save your breath for screaming.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's tricky. It's a tricky balance.
But it's not horrible.
It's
not terrible.
And
I would have liked to see the priest a little bit more.
It would have been, of course, it would have been nice, But I mean, again, you can't replicate Doug Bradley.
Right.
You can't fucking do it.
Right.
You can't replicate his voice. You can't replicate his face in that makeup.
See,
It's impossible.
This is my guy right here.
Mm.
He's on point. Yes.
Yes.
And we're gonna get into that with the next movie we're gonna talk about.
So the kills.
Yeah.
They had some moments
Yes,
where
my favorite moment in the movie is this. I mean, I can't show it, but my favorite moment in the movie is when the friend hears the bells. She's fucked. Cenobites are coming for her. Visually, things are happening when they're in the van. This was a great scene. They're in the van. They're driving away. Nobody else sees what she sees. And the van, she's in the back of the van, and the van is getting farther and farther away from her perspective, even though she's inside it.
Yeah.
And the Cenobites have her, and they end up ripping off all of the skin of her back, and it's a practical effect, and you actually see some blood, and that was pretty good. The Hell Priest was having a little bit of fun, sticking some pins in her for her enjoyment, and the Chatterer was like drinking the blood. He didn't really do anything else, though. But this is my favorite scene out of the whole film. Visually, this was really good. And shit started to really hit the fan in the movie. But yeah,
like
I wish we had more scenes like this.
They had hints, like when the boyfriend, when Riley's boyfriend gets sacrificed, and they, the one does the wires, and the wire thing comes, like, starts flaying him.
Right.
You have one scene where he starts to get skinned on his arm,
mm-hmm.
and it was a nice effect.
Yeah.
Really nice effect.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. And then he gets pulled down into hell.
Yeah.
As a sacrifice, the final sacrifice. And it's like,
yeah. And the older lady that gets pulled into hell, save your breath for screaming.
Yeah.
You don't see her death or what happens to her.
They just start torturing. They torture her with the throat thing.
Well, she puts a little pin in her mouth.
Yeah, but that's it.
That's it. You don't see.
It's like, that's not. I don't.
Yeah.
That's not. I don't find that unnerving. Yeah. I don't find that anything. It's like, it's irritating.
Yeah. This was the best part of the movie for me.
Yeah, and visually it was nice to look at also. So yeah, the kills weren't great, but
it was okay
compared to the next film.
Yeah,
we're going to talk
comparison.
About, they were fine. They're absolutely adequate.
And we appreciated at least being, still being R. They could have PG-13 this shit. They could have did it. And y'all know what happens when they PG-13 stuff.
God. Why? Why?
I love it. All right. Was there anything else you want to talk about before we rate it?
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was. I've seen.
What's up, Donnie?
I've seen much worse.
Well, in terms of classic horror movie reboots.
Yeah.
We've seen way worse.
Yeah, I've seen worse.
Like garbage, eating garbage.
And they did enough. Oh, I didn't talk about the music. Okay, so at first I was really irritated because they were making the music, they were making the score sound a lot like the Christopher Young score from the first and second Hellraiser film. And then they flat out went all the way. They used the theme from 1 and 2, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This has nothing to do with those movies. There's no connection to these films whatsoever. Like, you've gone and done your own thing.
Yeah.
This is the Balrog from Rings of Power all over again. I'm like, what are you doing? No, stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then by the end of it, I was kind of like,
you accepted it because it's such an iconic theme. They're like, all right.
It really is, because it's like, it's kind of like the music. It is the theme. Yeah. It's almost like you can't really change it at this point.
Right.
Other movies, like, they haven't used it, and
they could have made their own theme. They could have, but it's fine. They're reusing the old.
Doing such a bootleg,
I don't hate it.
They were doing such a bootleg WCW version of it, and it was like, they might as well just go with it. And then they did. It's like, okay, fine. Yeah. I did like that they were using kind of like the Leviathan theme by the end. It was nice to hear.
Yeah.
So it was fine. I was okay with it. I really wasn't okay with it at first, but then by the end, and then the second time I watched it, I was like, okay, I don't know why I'm okay with this, but I'm okay with it. So yeah, it was like,
For future movies, though, they when the Cenobites show up, it should be like you're fucked, right? So when the Cenobites show up, if you can't bullshit your way out of it and try to cut some kind of deal, you're fucked. So hopefully, when we move forward, they will for a sequel. They will not treat the Cenobites like ghosts, where you could just pour some salt. You just pour some salt around you and stay inside the salt ring, and the ghost can't get to you. Nothing should stop the Cenobites. Nothing. Which was like, I don't love that you could stop the Cenobites. Like something man-made can stop them. I don't like that. But it is what it is.
Again, they wrote their own set of rules in this.
Yeah,
and
it is what it is.
Some of them were just dumb rules. So,
Yep, them WCW bootleg versions, man. Love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go ahead and rate this sumbitch. C is average. You guys know this. Some really good visuals once in a while. Some great practical effects and makeup once in a while. The music was okay once in a while. The characters were kind of average. We did like Voight though. The Hell Priest, I thought she was fine. I wanted them to do more with her though. Maybe in the next movie we'll do more with her. But you know, if you're comparing this to The Fog, the Fog remake, if you're comparing, if you compare this to all the terrible, bad remakes, bad bullshit reboots, a lot of the atrocious Hellraiser sequels, this starts to look far better, especially when you compare it to another movie that we're going to talk about a little later. We're saving that for last. You compare it to that. This new Hellraiser reboot is actually pretty solid. It's a solid reboot. Nothing will beat the first two. The first two will always reign supreme over this. And in terms of rewatchability, I think 3 is fun. 3 is not great, but I would rather watch 3 over and over and over again more than this. But this is not trash. This is a solid horror reboot to us. It's solid. All right. So C is average. What are you giving Hellraiser?
Well, C is average.
Okay.
So I'm going C plus.
All right, she's going C plus. All right, I'm gonna go B minus. I'm gonna go B minus.
Okay.
Like I told the Movie Dojo Army, our channel members that support us, I gave it 1 thumb up. I didn't do the 2 thumbs, but the one thumb
up the ass.
What do you?
I don't know.
It's getting late.
It's
getting late.
It just sounded like the right thing to do. I don't know.
All right, so B minus for me. It's a very solid reboot, horror reboot. They could have did a lot worse.
Can you excuse me for a minute?
Go ahead.
I gotta do a thing.
She's got to do a thing.
I gotta do a thing. So
all right.
Sorry.
You get to hang out with Samurai Guy.
Sorry. Start the next one
for a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, no, I can't start the next one without you. We need you for that one. You don't want to be here for that one? Yes. Doug Bradley liked it, and Jesse Ventura loved Prey also. That means nothing to me, but it's nice that Doug Bradley did enjoy it. But yeah, what's going on, badasses? Let me see. I could jump right into this, but I gotta have her here because a funny thing happened in the theater when we were watching this next movie, and you're gonna laugh hysterically when we talk about it. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking with me right now? Really? Wow. Well, hey, Stephen King's a legend, but we can agree to disagree on that one. Oh no. I was like, oh man, if the cat's gonna start meowing, that might be a problem. You have to let the cat out. Which means my balls are not safe, which means I might, occasionally scream live here for you guys' entertainment. Because gravy be attacking anything, man. I'm like, goddamn cat, I love you to death. What's up, guys? Danielle, hey, what's going on? I'll chit chat with you guys for a little bit. Any questions? Fire some questions until Lady Phatblood comes back. I still want to do, if we can, I still want to do that Megan trailer reaction, Lady Phatblood version. We'll end the stream with that. So. No, it's coming up next. It's coming up next, buddy. Good to see you. Donnie, what's up, Donnie? Fire Mohawk. Eric. No, I have not seen X yet, but I think we're gonna go ahead and give in, and we're gonna save that for Halloween weekend when we have our traditional. We do it every year. We have our horror movie marathon, and I think we'll watch X then. So, best Phantasm movie? Oh man, that's actually a tough one because well, the first one's classic, but 2, I need to rewatch 2. I remember liking 2 a lot, but 3 is just so batshit insane. The girl with the nunchucks. I just whipped out nunchucks out of nowhere. And I think 4 was okay, but you know what? I've never seen the 5th one. So let's see here. Just probably we'll probably celebrate Halloween on Saturday. And we'll just watch horror movies all day. Hey, for Halloween Day or whenever you guys are celebrating it, what are you guys doing? What movies are you gonna be watching? You gonna have a horror movie marathon? Let me know. I'm glad I'm glad my trailer reaction made your day, Donnie. That's probably one of the best trailer reactions Samurai Guy's had in a while, because I was not expecting that at all. So you never say never. Never say never. I hope, but I'm going to say no, and I'll give my reasons why. It's unfortunate. No, MK is asking us, do you think Art has what it takes to join the ranks of Michael, Jason, Chucky, and Freddy? And I said, I think he does. I think he does. Wow. But it probably won't happen because
we have a theatrical experience.
As much as we love Michael, Jason, Chucky, and Freddy, there's something about them. They have that mainstream appeal. Art is for the hardcore fans, and we're going to get into that. And we have a good example, a theater example. We saw this in theater Friday night. So we're going to talk about it right now.
Is that
hold on. Yeah, that's next. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we're saving the best for last, baby. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me catch up here. You guys are fucking awesome, man. Thanks again for hanging out with us tonight. You guys are awesome. I'm trying to see what they're going to be watching for Halloween. All right. She is back. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it. Terrifier 2, Electric Boogaloo. All right, plot synopsis. All right, after being resurrected by a sinister entity, Art the Clown returns to the timid town of Miles County, where he targets a teenage girl and her younger brother on Halloween night. Directed by Damien Leone, starring everybody's favorite badass David Howard Thornton and Jenna Canal, a whole bunch of other badasses. We get a little cameo from Felicia Rose in here. But I mean, David Howard Thornton kills it, completely murders, literally in the characters. He completely kills it as the character of Art. But the newcomer for us is Lauren Lavera, who plays the character of Serena. Excuse me, Sienna. Yo, she's the new shit. Okay, she's the new shit. I am on the bandwagon. I am on the Lauren bandwagon. Both of us are, and we'll get into that a little bit in a second here. So yeah, so we saw this. Halloween Ends came out last weekend, obviously, and Terrifier 2 came out the weekend before at selected theaters, and it did so well.
Yeah,
the fans positive feedback that they released it. You know, Sexy Sumo hit us up. Shout out to Sexy Sumo for taking us to the theater. He treated us. Thank you, brother.
We were losing hope that we were going to get to see it in the theater because the theaters in our area were only showing these at like 9:30 and 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And that was it. There were no earlier screenings. There was no that was it. There was only twice a night showtimes, and that was not in my wheelhouse. And weekends are like, well, I mean, maybe
it's tough.
Yeah.
Because of the schedules. And
so, but luckily we got another one showtime this week at night that we were able to hit up.
And this was a fuck it time. This was like now or never, like 10:25 p.m. You're like, fuck it. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into it. So it was a small theater, but it was a packed theater.
It was a theater.
Good news with bad news. Go ahead.
Okay, so it was a theater that probably max could have held 50 to 55 people, and it probably held about 45.
It's still good.
I would have to guess. It was maybe, I think the very, very, very front row was not packed. It didn't have anybody in it. And there were about 3 seats in the back that didn't have anything. So I would guess there was maybe about 45 people in the theater. And so Sumo and his daughter were in front of us.
Right.
And
shout out to Annabelle.
You and I were right behind him.
Sumo, yes, keep going.
Everybody around us were making us feel like a bunch of psychopaths, essentially. Because from start to finish.
Hold on. Sumo, this badass. Thank you, brother.
Sure. Yeah. So basically, from start to finish.
Yes, from start of the movie to the end.
To finish.
Yeah.
We're having a ball, laughing.
Oh yeah.
Like having fun with the gore.
Oh yeah.
All that
the dark humor, the batshit insanity.
Like having just a blast with Art the Clown and his ridiculous faces that he just I mean he's ridiculous to look at. His face is just hysterical.
David is the man. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the crowd is goddamn dead. Just dead. Now, Annabelle said that people next to her were kind of jumping a little bit, but aside from that, no reaction. Zero. Zilch. Absolutely nothing. And we're just sitting here like, is everybody are you guys alive? You guys still with us? Like, hi. I mean, I was feeling psychotic laughing because I'm like, am I not supposed to be laughing at this?
No, like, fuck everybody else. I have two theories. One theory. We got the Halloween Ends crowd. The last show for Halloween Ends, they paid for tickets to go to Terrifier, and they were just sucked out. All their energy and their life force was sucked out after watching Halloween Ends, and then they came into Terrifier and sat down, and they were completely dead. My other theory is it's just not for them. You know, and this goes back to the question that was asked earlier. Is Art the Clown going to be up there with Freddy, Jason, and Chucky and Myers? And does he deserve to be there? Sure. I think he does. We don't have any new badass, original, and fun slashers anymore. We don't. That kind of get this kind of attention is what I mean. We don't. But so it's nice to see, and that's why we root for art and we root for the filmmakers that make Terrifier movies. But let's be honest, this, there is a gore and violence tolerance level. All right. And the casual audience that will go to see Jason, Halloween Ends, Freddy, and all that. Now we're hardcore fans of all those guys. We got posters, Blu-rays, figs. We're hardcore fans for life, right? But the casual audience can go to a Chucky movie and not have to worry about seeing the gore that they're about to see. That they saw from Terrifier 2. I think for the horror hardcore fan out there, this movie's made for them. And I feel, and they're celebrating. This movie's a triumph. This movie's a fucking triumph. And I'm so happy for all the filmmakers. Everybody worked really hard to make this movie. But I feel that the casual audience that just, I want to go out and see a scary. We liked it. Well, we saw the It. But hold on, I am an It person. We saw the It. So there's another scary clown movie out. Let's go see that. They're not ready.
and this is
they don't put it this way. This is a good example. I saw a post for people defending Halloween Ends. And if you like Halloween Ends, that's perfectly fine as long as you enjoyed it, But we have to be honest on our channel when we get to that film. But they were defending the movie. They said that there was these two old women sitting next to them in the theater, and they were complaining and basically disgusted to the fact that all of the people that were in the theater were enjoying the kills and stuff like that. Now, that's Halloween Ends kills.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's Halloween Ends kills. They were repulsed by off-screen deaths.
Boy, do I have news for them. They would have had a heart attack.
Yes.
In Terrifier.
Yes. So yeah.
What kills me about the crowd that was with us is that there were tons of showtimes for Halloween Kills. We actually pulled up next to a group of maybe 6 or 7 people that had just gotten out of the theater. Now, our showtime for Terrifier 2 was it was 10:30. And they had just gotten out of the theater for Halloween Kills. Yeah. And they were talking about it. They were very lively. It sounded like some of them enjoyed it. Some of them didn't. But they seemed to have at least enjoyed being out and about. So my confusion really lied in our crowd with, what did you think you were there to see? When you selected Terrifier 2, which prominently features a giant picture of Art the Clown. And keep in mind, there's only one showtime for this film. One.
Yeah.
What exactly did you think? You couldn't have gone into this blind.
Right.
You deliberately chose this.
Yeah.
Now, if you've seen the first movie, that first movie is not tame. There's a flip over and in that movie. Okay, that movie is not tame. Now, to be fair,
that was adorable.
This movie kind of makes the first movie look like Child's Play.
Right.
Either the actual Child's Play movie or Child's Play the saying.
Right.
But what did you think you were choosing when you selected that movie? When you were saying, I wanted this ticket for this movie.
Right.
What did you think you were selecting?
Yeah.
Now, do you want us to tell the story about what happened, or do you want us to just get into the movie?
It's up to you.
Okay.
It's up to you. I mean, we have to do both.
I'll just tell the story.
It doesn't matter which order.
Now,
go ahead.
As we have alluded to, the kills in this movie are up to 11 and beyond 11. They're
I could say
the knob got cranked to 11 and then got broken off and it got shoved up someone's ass, and then that person got thrown off a cliff, and then the cliff got tossed into the ocean, and then the planet that ocean resided on got thrown into another atmosphere.
I can confidently say I have not seen every horror movie ever made this year, obviously. I can confidently say that the gore and the kills in this movie, there's no competition.
This movie is why this movie is why hardcore, and okay, say what you want about torture porn. Say what you want about
Yeah.
hardcore gore. Okay, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, fine. It's not your cup of tea. Okay, if you don't like torture porn gore,
Right. Yeah.
fine, you don't like it.
That's what's awesome about horror.
But this movie,
so many different versions of
this
horror out
movie
there.
and the reaction that the audience had and didn't have is why movies like this can't be released in theaters.
Yeah.
Because the audience is just like, they can't handle it.
Unless it's an audience of hardcore horror fans.
Which obviously we weren't there.
No,
It was just
we
us.
were there.
It was just us.
Yeah,
But
but
they
yeah,
weren't there
yeah,
with us.
yeah.
So the gore in this movie is so off the charts.
Right in the beginning.
Yes.
In the beginning. We are not leading up to it.
Yes.
It's right
Yeah.
in the beginning of the movie, man.
And now there was a couple, a young couple sitting right next to us. And when we first came in, you know, the really young girl was curled up next to her boyfriend because of the reclining seats. And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I saw the first Terrifier. It was good." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's interesting."
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hinting that, well, the girl hasn't seen the first Terrifier if he's telling her that. And I'm thinking, oh boy, sir, what were you thinking bringing her to this movie?
Yeah.
Like, someone's not getting it tonight. Okay,
Yeah.
Someone's not getting tonight. And so again, the movie's progressing, the kills are getting, you know, progressively more entertaining and interesting throughout the movie.
And over the top and insane. Yeah.
And again, each one you get a decapitation,
they're memorable.
a full blown, like, no cutaway,
Nope.
no implied decapitation. No, you see the prosthetic with the neck and the chop and the no, you see it. Okay. And as the movie's plugging along,
Hope you guys are enjoying this. Thumbs up the video, like the video.
At one point, I don't know, was it a little more than halfway through the movie when the mom gets the shotgun blast?
It was towards the end because it happened when
So it was more than halfway through.
The character of
Sienna,
the character of Sienna.
Well, yeah, they're out and about.
Hold on. Are we back, guys? It looks like we froze there for a second. Let me know before we keep talking. Can you see us? Let me know if you can see us.
We're playing here, so.
Okay. All right.
So, you know, more than halfway through the movie, after a lot of shit's gone down.
Yeah.
The mom character gets shotgun blasted to the face.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Shotgun blast.
Shotgun blasted to the face. And all of a sudden, apparently, that was the tipping point.
For some reason, there was so much more crazy gore before that. And they stayed through all of that. But as soon as the mom got shot in the face.
But apparently, that was just too goddamn much. And the couple next to us went, peace out. They left, never came back.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, again, throughout everything that's happened in this film, the audience is just nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Again,
they're not horror. They're casuals. They're not horror hardcore fans. That's all it is.
I was like, what did you?
Yeah, when this premiered at other theaters of horror hardcore fans, they erupted, they cheered, they laughed. There was a reaction. But they're hardcore horror fans. You know, they can like the stuff that gets shown in the theaters that casuals can enjoy, but then they can also enjoy the hardcore stuff. So, you know, but yeah, they bounced, they left, and we were internally laughing.
Yeah.
Because we were just like, wow, really?
Yeah.
After all you've seen already, that was what made you leave.
You missed the mashed potatoes.
You missed the mashed potato scene. Yeah. You know what? I wanted to talk spoilers about the kills and everything, but I don't know. I think we should leave some. I don't know. Should we not talk?
We don't have to.
Yeah, let's leave some mystery so you guys are interested in checking it out. We will spoil the plot though, because you have some theories.
I do.
But let's lead up to it really quick.
Yeah.
So hold on a second. So right off the bat, David kills it. Absolutely kills it.
Literally.
As art. And you know, go ahead and go into a little bit more of the plot, more than what the IMDb said.
Surprisingly, So if you remember the end of the first movie, it ends with him in the coroner's office in the body bag, and it's implied that he just pops back up to life, and he goes after the coroner, right?
Yeah.
And then
It fucks him up, man.
so in this one, yeah, it picks up right with that, and he immediately begins dismembering the coroner, replaces his lost eye with the coroner's eye
He's just
because
fucking with him.
he's got like the hole in his head from
Yeah.
when he blew his brains out in the movie, in the first movie.
Yeah.
And he's like fucking with that.
Good night, Eric. Have a good one. Yeah.
But yeah, he fucks up.
He
the
fucks him
coroner.
up and then leaves.
Yeah.
So keep in mind at this point in the lore, something sinister resurrects Art. We don't know what yet. We don't know yet. This, in terms of plot synopsis, especially by the end of the movie, Art gets resurrected again in the most batshit hilarious and crazy way,
Yeah.
which may turn off some people.
Yeah.
But we are dealing with a movie that's not just a slasher. We're dealing with a series that's not just a slasher. This series, Terrifier and Terrifier 2, we are dealing with a fantasy horror slasher.
Yeah.
That's what we have here. Fantasy, okay? Supernatural horror slasher. That's what this is. If you guys are okay with that,
Yeah.
and can watch the movie with that going and knowing that, then the crazy, insane, over-the-top batshit moments that happen later in the movie, you'll most likely be fine with it.
Yeah, so this movie did not opt to just make the first Terrifier movie all over again.
Right.
This movie didn't do that, where it's just, he just goes out and starts killing people again, and you don't know anything. He's just some crazy guy that just, goes out and picks some random people.
Just another slasher flick. Yeah.
It doesn't do that.
Right.
But you need to be prepared. Like I said, not only do the kills go off, not only do the kills go off the rails, but the movie itself goes off the actual rails, and it just, you think you're going, and then it just goes, nope, it just gone.
Yeah.
Just gone into outer space. Just, I wouldn't be surprised if Art ends up in outer space at some point in the next movie. Yeah. Just absolutely off the rails.
I would, Severio, I would watch the first film. It's on Tubi. The first film is on Tubi. Tubi, right?
Oh no,
Freevee. The first movie's on Freevee, guys. You can watch it for free. The first Terrifier.
It would be better to have a frame of reference to see the first movie.
Thank you. My name is Jefferson. Thank you so much for the super chat. You rock, man. Thank you.
But yeah, the first movie is good to have a frame of reference and to know what you're in for.
You get introduced to Art.
Yeah, it's a good groundwork because it does wrap around by the end of the second movie
with a character from the first.
Yeah, and there's mention of things that happen in the first movie that come into play in the second movie.
Right.
So I would say yes, it would be better. It would be better if you saw the first movie first.
But we're introduced to this family.
Yes.
Yeah.
The mom, the older sister, and the younger, very, very, very awkward, very bad actor brother. I'm sorry. He kind of sucks.
All right.
But luckily, the actress who plays Sienna makes up for it.
Okay.
So
she's so good. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And you get a feel for who Sienna is really quickly. She's like making this costume.
Mm-hmm.
You later find out that it's a costume based off of this character that her dad created. Her dad was like this visual artist that drew all the time. And, there's like this hint of something that happened to him. And later on, you find out what happened to him.
Yeah.
And there's this odd connection between him and Art. It's not entirely clear what that connection is.
It's like up to this point, the only thing you know is that the father saw visions. He was able to see things.
Right.
He doodled things in his notebook.
And one of those things,
and some of those things he doodled in his notebooks were kills from the first film.
And one of those things was
and Art.
Yes.
He doodled, as well as the avenging warrior character
that
he was trying to create for his daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
And you also find out that the dad
And then the dad died.
ended up with a brain tumor,
Right,
and
right.
the visions got worse.
Right.
He got worse. He became abusive to the family, and especially Sienna. And then he lost his mind, ended up putting himself into a car accident, and he burned in a fire, and
Right.
yada yada yada. Just
Right.
So it
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But
No, go ahead.
no, I'll take care of it. You keep going.
Oh.
Talking about the family and what's going on.
So yeah, you get a feel for the family. The brother is kind of obsessed with Art the Clown,
Right.
and the sister is like talking to the mom, like, "Hey, you gotta get worried about him every once in a while. Like, he's really obsessed. He,
Mhm.
It seems like,
Yeah.
should probably keep an eye on him,
Right.
and all this kind of stuff." And
Mhm.
some things go down with him, and it's hard to explain because so much shit goes
Yeah,
down.
it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff happening.
Because at one point, at the very beginning of the movie, Art goes to a laundromat, and he sees this little girl.
After he kills the coroner,
he goes straight to a laundromat to clean his uniform.
Okay.
He sees this little evil mini art girl clown.
Yeah.
Okay. She starts playing with him.
Yeah.
But it's established that only Art can see her, because there's another guy in the laundromat.
Yeah.
And he can't see her.
Right.
But he can see Art, obviously, because
Yeah.
Art's there.
Right.
But he can't see the little girl. And it looks
So
like
Art's just playing patty cake with nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this little clown girl becomes a thing.
Right.
Well, later on, when Art and the clown girl end up at the boys' school,
Mhm.
the boy sees both of them.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
And later on, Sienna sees the clown girl also.
Right.
Which again rolls back into this weird, why can they see the little clown girl and Art can see the little clown girl? Again, very odd goings on in this movie. Okay. It's very, okay. This movie is bonkers. Okay.
Right.
And it's hinted that little girl, the dad was taking clippings of, like, he had a newspaper clipping of that little girl and her disappearance. It was mysterious.
And, the dad was seeing all kinds of shit.
Right.
Which might lead to some interesting theories that she'll might talk about a little bit later. But you find out later the girl was murdered, and throughout the film, she's a spirit that's tagging along with Art here. Basically trying to look at that shot, so fucking great. Look at that fucking shit. Basically to help prevent the coming of the avenging angel who will stop them. That's kind of the easiest way to explain what's happening.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to talk about.
More or less.
And we only have a certain amount of time to talk, because I know eventually we want to get to the next movie.
And again, so much happens in the movie that it's hard to talk about, because like things like psychosis is a running theme in the movie. The Sienna has this dream sequence that goes on for a really long time that at first I thought was like, okay, where are we going with this? But then that ends up wrapping around later.
Right.
And kind of makes a little more sense towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it just
it's a lot.
A lot of
it's a lot. Yeah.
A lot of bizarre shit.
Right.
Just goes on.
Yeah.
In this movie.
But the brother is obsessed with Art, and he even tells his sister, the mother doesn't want to hear anything. She's just like, she tried to throw away the sketchbook.
She wants to put the brother in therapy and on pills.
Yeah. So she's no help.
Sienna's on pills, like, it's
and the brother tells Sienna, like, look, they have not found Art's body. He could still be out there. But yeah, he became so obsessed with Art that at some point he was trying to dress up as him for Halloween. Of course, that didn't work out. But then, especially after Sienna started having these nightmares of Art, and in this dream here, she ends up pulling out a sword that her dad bought her, that there's something special about the sword. And she pulls it out in the dream to fight against Art. And then that's when she snaps up and wakes up. And in her room, half of her room starts to, go on, get on fire. So that kind of freaks her out. Ever since she's had this nightmare, slowly but surely, she's been getting these bad vibes about Art coming after her. Maybe she's going to run into him. Maybe Art's still alive. And then we have this hilarious scene. This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
And nobody, no reaction.
Dude,
Like, oh
me,
my
Sexy
God.
Sumo, Lady Phatblood were busting up. We were laughing our asses off. But yeah, Sienna, she's trying to make this costume, or her costume gets caught on fire. Excuse me.
She had these angel wings
Right.
that she had made
Right.
part of the
That
costume.
gets right.
They got completely burned, and so she has to go to a Halloween shop at the
Right.
last minute and find a new pair of
Right.
yeah.
And while she's there getting a new pair of wings, Art just walks in and
starts fucking with her.
Oh my God, it's fucking hilarious. And then we get such a good kill after that. Not Sienna, but the owner of the store. But it's so good. It's so good. But she thinks that it's just some guy dressed up as Art, because there's that legend in the town. You know what I mean? There may be other people dressing up as Art for Art. She doesn't think this is the real Art the clown fucking with her. But to make a long story short, she decides, so you know what? I didn't want to go to the party alone, but fuck it. Oh no, that's the other movie. I'm sorry. She goes to the party with her friends. Well, one of her friends kind of gets fucked up a little bit.
Well, because it was supposed to be, she was going to a party with two of her friends, but one of the
oh
friends,
my God,
in one of
God,
the most brutal kill, which
dude,
I wouldn't be surprised, because I've been hearing that people have been throwing up and walking out of the theater. This was probably the one,
dude.
And this was the applause worthy, like the director,
dude,
because he also did the special effects.
Dude,
bravo, like, sir, the animatronics, the makeup effects on this kill,
holy
on the friend,
shit,
unbelievable. Like, especially by the end, the animatronics that they had to use.
Dude, it was so good.
friend,
me and her were like, holy shit, that's fucking dope.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
We were like, by the time
she gets it bad.
By the time
this character
Art
gets
was
it bad.
done with this character, we were just like, oh, die already. Please die already. Like, oh my God. Lady.
Yeah.
Just die.
I think this is the kill that they said is the one that they feel they topped more than the Saw one.
Sure, why not?
But yeah, it was, I mean, the movie was already gory as hell, and then we get to that scene, it's like, holy shit.
And he had already
but you can applaud
and
the animatronic, the hard work, the makeup effects are so good in terms of filmmaking.
Yeah.
You can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Apparently the Halloween Ends crowd we had just was fucking dead. It's so dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to the story.
So she goes to the party with the
Mm-hmm.
remaining friend, and the remaining friend's boyfriend is there. And she ends up slipping like half a Molly in her drink,
which was kind of funny.
And so Sienna's just like tripping and like just blah blah blah. You know, she's
that was a funny scene.
She's mollying out.
He slipped Molly in my drink, you bitch. But she's still smiling.
Yeah,
that was funny.
And she ends up after their little tiff, their little, you know, I hate you, you know, I'm so mad at you, tiff. Yeah. She ends up getting a call from the brother. Keep in mind, the mom has been murdered.
Shotgun blast.
Yeah, and for some reason, Art has not killed the brother, because again, there's this brewing showdown.
Mm-hmm. This well, he goes after him.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't kill him. He injects him with that thing to put him to sleep, because he's trying to lure. He's trying to, for some reason, he's trying to lure
Sienna.
Yeah. And there's this thing of brewing between them.
Mm-hmm.
And
thing of brewing.
Yeah, he ends up luring her to this kind of like carnival area.
Right. Great setting.
Right.
Haunted house. Oh, so good. And the mazes and shit. Like it was a great setting. Oh, it's fucking great. Great location.
Right.
But yeah, it doesn't go well for her girlfriend. She gets it bad. Brutal, man. Just fucked up in the chest, everything. And then the boyfriend got his dick cut off. So it's stabbed several times in the dick, then cut off.
Yes.
But yeah, it finally leads up to the showdown. And I love how when she finds her friend, she's still looking for her brother. When she finds her friend, you know, she looks up and sees this motherfucker. And this is so great because, you know, when you're already invested in the movie, you're like, holy shit, here we go. It's about to go down. And this is where I really loved what Lauren did here. it wasn't just her acting performance, which is fucking amazing. Her acting performance, she looked like she was scared out of her goddamn mind. Like she was legitimately scared. And then later, she flips the switch and becomes fucking brutality rage. So this is why we were so impressed with her, because it wasn't just the acting, it was the physical performance that she gave. And man, yo, you guys, this was a fight. This was a fight. Art was not holding back. Art was whipping her. He was whipping her brother. The brother got, I think the brother should have died, but I know that probably would have been too much after the mom getting shotgun blasted to the dome. Let me tell you something. Art went full badass. And finally, when he started going after the brother, she switched. She switched and started to fight back, and it was fucking glorious. And it was just like, again, dealing with the supernatural fantasy element of the series. I mean, spike bat to the head, that didn't work. She impales a pole through his head like this. He's still alive. And he actually ends up, I'm surprised when he ended up stabbing her with the sword her dad gave her. And then it looks very artsy, but you can assume she kind of went to hell. She temporarily went to hell,
which ended up wrapping around back to her dream that she had earlier.
Right.
And it was the remnants of the dreamscape where she had this bizarre dream that was based on kind of like this commercial that she had fallen asleep to.
Yeah.
And the characters in the dream had been murdered by Art.
Right.
And they were all left kind of dead in this dream, and she's slowly drowning.
Right.
In this hell,
tank,
in this version of hell for her.
She's slowly dying.
And as their brother is being killed by Art, finally
being eaten, he's trying to eat him.
Yes. As you do, as Art does.
Yeah.
He calls out for her.
Right.
And that in 80s fashion, the dagger wound lights up in like an 80s effect.
Yeah.
And
the sword lights up too.
Yeah. And she has this thing attached to her leg.
And then you start hearing the Wonder Woman theme song. You know.
And she like rips off the thing that's holding her leg down, that's keeping her drowning in the water, and she claws her way back up from hell, and she is reborn fully into this warrior character that she was destined to become.
And
that her father created for
she
her.
Fucks him up, and her performance and acting, I was feeling it. You know, I was just like, yeah, fuck yeah. Sorry. It's been a while since I watched the movie, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Well, okay, MKF30 is that. So Art is like Leatherface and Hannibal now eating people. Remember, he was eating the face of the lady in the first movie.
That's right.
He's
been eaten.
He's been eating people.
But yeah, it gave me the fuck yeah. And I love how she kept hacking him right here. And he was fucked. And then she came around for the final, there will be only one blow. And he looks at her. He's just kind of like acknowledges her. He's like, you got me, bitch. Right. And then he goes, all right, go ahead and finish it. It's fucking hilarious. Boom, slicey dice, head flies off. And then the little girl comes out. She's not happy. That was her new friend. So she takes his head and walks away. And then, you know, the Sienna and her brother, for now, live happily ever after. And then we go to the asylum where we meet up with this character from the first movie again.
Right.
Go ahead and tell.
And so if you remember in the first movie,
she
was the victim that survived.
Right.
But at some point she did snap, and she did attack the interviewer.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And in the second movie, they keep talking about how the interviewer is in critical condition and how she really got fucked up. Well, in this movie, you revisit this character in the loony bin.
Yeah.
And the nurse that's attending to her is saying how, she's really quiet and unobtrusive, like consider all things considered, and all the things that we've heard about her. But you go to her cell, and all this blood's coming out from between her legs, and she's like writing something on the wall. And are we just gonna say what happened?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like,
So
Art
Art,
again, by means we don't know yet, just eval entity
yeah.
gets resurrected again.
So you pan down to her stomach because she writes Art plus her name. I forgot her name already.
Oh my
But
God.
Art plus her name on the
Oh
wall,
my
and you
God.
see her stomach is fully bloated, and you're like, wait, that doesn't make any sense because Art clearly didn't do anything to her except for eat her face off.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the nurse is like scrambling to get into the room with her.
Yeah.
And you see all this just viscera and giblets come out of her.
Giblets.
And it's Art has now been reborn through her as an Art the Clown baby head.
Because now I'm surprised nobody walked up and left during that scene. I'm surprised that wasn't the scene.
I mean, at that point.
See, this is a movie where, I mean, this is a franchise where, again, the first movie, it ended with him shooting himself in the head. But by means we don't know yet, he was resurrected. He came back to life. Right? So, again, the kills go off the rails in a great way, and the movie goes off the rails in a batshit but entertaining way.
Yeah.
I
mean, we're talking like this is along the lines of Nightmare on Elm Street 4 when the dog pisses fire and resurrects Freddy Krueger. This is the same. Yeah. It's the same damn thing.
Yeah,
it's
fuck
like,
it.
It doesn't make sense. No.
Yeah.
Do I care? No.
Nope.
Was I entertained? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was entertained.
Dog randomly pissing fire, like, bringing Freddy back. Fuck it.
And the movie, like, again, the first thing you see from when Art sees the little girl is she's sitting on a chair looking at him all creepily and smiling, and all this black bile diarrhea just comes out from between her legs.
Just takes a dump. She had to go.
Yeah.
When you got to go, you got to go.
That's the first thing you see from that little girl. It's like, okay.
And that wasn't what made the couple get up and leave.
No. But yeah, so the movie is just it's batshit in a way that it's like, see, this is when you're gonna change up your formula that you've established,
right?
And you're gonna take bits of homages. Like, again, I love the soundtrack.
Oh, music's great. Oh my God!
Like I said in the past, I'm kind of over the '80s retro scores because it's just been done to death, and I'm just like, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
But if it's there just for the sake of it being there, I'm over it.
Right.
But the way they did this, even though it wasn't set in the 80s, the way they did this, I loved it.
It's great. Really good.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Just the way they just took something that could have been so one note, and so we do the same thing over and over for the sequel, and they just said, no, we're just going to do something completely different. It's like, I had to respect it.
Yeah.
I had to respect just how different this movie was.
Yeah.
Did it always make sense? No. But it's like, that's kind of the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's that you can just, this is their world.
Yeah.
This wasn't like Hellraiser, where Hellraiser originally had its own established rules. And what they chose to do was take some of those rules and then make their own. And then their own set of rules didn't really make sense, and I was like, I don't know about this. This is their own world.
Yeah.
And they can kind of do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I think that's why I forgive this movie more for it just being like,
yeah,
just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can
batshit insane, but so much fun.
I can absolutely see why this is not a mainstream movie.
Right.
I can see it's like Art deserves to be among the pantheon of like the icons. He deserves to be there, but it's hard because he's too hardcore.
Yeah,
the movies are too hardcore.
And I feel some horror fans out there probably will want him to make one more movie. A good 3-part trilogy, and then they probably feel that he probably deserves to be up there. But in terms of horror slasher icons, I think he's already there. Maybe not in a mainstream status.
Maybe for the underground crew,
yeah, but this right here, Donnie
Mm-hmm.
here. Did you see this? The movie made 1.22 million.
That's good,
dude.
That's good.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's like a really good for a movie like
times,
this. Yeah, for a movie like this. Yeah,
like I said, 2 showtimes per day.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
One
yeah.
showtime per day this week,
right,
for our area. which,
right.
you know,
But yeah, just it gave us. We have an entertaining antagonist that's like no other. There's no one else like Art right now. We had such a fantastic lead. She was so good and just amazing. There's nothing else this year, I'm telling you, for a horror slasher, a horror fantasy slasher flick. There's nothing else. The kills are top notch. Nothing will beat this movie this year in terms of horror kills. It's just on another level, especially when you're adding, what was it? The mechanical, what was it? Animatronics to your fucking kill. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, loved it. Let's go ahead and rate this. What are you giving Terrifier 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Oh, okay. Now remember, folks.
D-.
Remember, folks. This is not for everybody. This is not.
And we explain that, yeah.
It's not. This is not an easily digestible, fun.
For everybody. For us, yes. We're fine. We were fine.
Again, it's so bonkers that I get if you're not fine with it, I get it.
It's fine. Yeah.
But it's another easy A for me.
Boom.
Yeah,
Yo.
It's too out there, and I respect it. It's just
yeah.
It's just too much fun.
Nice. A for Lady Phatblood, and I'm getting an A too. It just for the slasher horror fantasy that it is, it delivers. Just absolutely loved it. The practical effects and the kills are outstanding and rival big budget gigantic AAA horror films that are out right now, which we're going to get to right now. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right into Halloween Ends.
Thank God.
Yeah, it ended. Now, here's the thing. If you guys enjoyed the film, hey, happy you guys enjoyed it and had a great time, right? That's what it's all about. However, we have to be honest here on the channel. And, I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the fans that loved the first movie and even loved the second one and were excited and were hoping for a big, epic, badass conclusion finale. I feel sorry for them. I feel bad. We were never really invested in this new trilogy. We went to see the first Halloween in theater. There was some things we actually really liked about it. Jamie Lee Curtis is always great. The John Carpenter score is fucking one of the best horror scores ever. When Halloween 2018 came out, but there was something lacking that didn't make us love Halloween 2018, but we did enjoy it for what it was. We were fine with it. Halloween Kills, the movie everybody fucking hated. Everybody hated, but we actually liked. And you give your reasons, I'll give mine really quick. I liked Halloween Kills because I loved seeing Michael Myers as a fucking beast and just.
Oh, it was that ending?
Hmm?
It was that ending in Halloween Kills.
Yeah. That's what you like.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, when Laurie's annoying older daughter died. Yes, I cheered for that.
Her dying, and then
Evil dies tonight.
When you think the town is like, oh, we got him, and then
he just popped back up and fucked up everybody. I loved it.
It's like, and that's how the movie ended. I'm like, thank you.
Was it dumb? Yeah. It was big dumb fun.
Yeah.
That's how we looked at Halloween Kills.
But a lot of people didn't like that.
Oh, they hated Halloween Kills. A lot of people
didn't like that, and I'm like, well, I didn't really like 2018. If I'm to be totally honest with you, it's like, okay, full disclosure. You like parts of it. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
Full disclosure.
Yeah.
Michael Myers and Halloween in general, okay, not my go-to franchise.
Okay,
it's just not. I have mad respect for the first movie. I understand why it's iconic,
right?
But it's not my favorite horror film,
right? You saw it late.
Yeah, I didn't see it until I was full blown adult. So I had already been exposed to all the others. Again, Hellraiser. That's my go-to. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street way before I ever saw, Michael Myers and all that.
Right.
And So, and yes, I saw them out of order because of course I did. Because that's what I do.
But yeah, we're talking about this trilogy right now.
But what I'm saying is that I didn't have the investment that everybody had
Oh,
going into 2018.
I got you.
But I find
I
the
got you.
Halloween franchise fascinating because it's become a choose your own adventure franchise.
Right.
There are so many directions you can go, should you choose to, and the thing about the franchise is that if you want to go in this direction, you want to go part 1 and then into 2018, some people, a lot of people love 2018 so much.
They think it's they call it a masterpiece.
Yes.
That's fine.
And
to each his own.
And I'm just sitting here going, okay, well, I can't change your mind on that.
Yeah.
You can't change my mind on that. And the way I felt about it was like, once again, we're stuck in a movie where you've stripped anything that made it interesting to me. I always liked the fact that Laurie and Michael were siblings, as far-fetched as it was.
Okay.
I liked that aspect. I thought it made an interesting little layer, but you ditched that. I'm like, okay, fair point. You didn't want to do that. Okay, fair enough. So what did you do? You ditched H2O, which a lot of people liked that movie. I didn't love it, but I thought it was fine. It's fine.
Right. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people
it needed more kills in it, but
but
I might get a lot of flack for this. Even though H2O needed more kills, H2O still to this day has the best Laurie Strode versus Myers fight. Better than 2018's and a hell of a lot better than a kitchen fight that we got in Halloween Ends. I'm sorry, I'm being real. The suspense, the lead up to it, her standing in the shadows with the axe yelling, Michael! And then the theme music starts. And then they end up fighting up top. They end up fighting in the kitchen, which is funny. And they end up fighting somewhere else. And then it leading to the ambulance scene. And then leading to her cutting his head off.
Yeah, the moment when she looks into his eyes.
H2O has a better end fight than 2018's and Halloween Ends. I'm just being honest. You can say what you want about the movie. But that fight was great.
So
go ahead.
And if you don't like the sibling storyline, then you have this to fall back on, which great. It's great for you.
Yeah.
It's great. So going into 2018 though, so you ditched all that. Okay, fine. Fair point.
Yeah.
So what did we get in 2018? We got a very, very broken Jamie Lee Curtis, who was an alcoholic.
Right.
Laurie Strode is an alcoholic.
She turned into Sarah Connor.
Right. She had a terrible daughter, terrible granddaughter that I hated, absolutely just detested.
Yes.
Who they tried to turn around at the very end of the film and make them these strong, because women get it done moment. And at that point, I was like, I don't care.
Fail.
But it worked for some people.
Yeah, it's fine.
And of course, as is tradition, everybody in Haddonfield are assholes.
Yes.
Just the worst group of people you could possibly imagine. It's like, what is the Rob Zombie universe where everybody is terrible? And so you had this whole movie with terrible people, except for Jamie Lee Curtis, except for Laurie.
Yeah.
Who was still at least the most interesting part because she was going through her shit, because it's Jamie Lee Curtis and she's, the best. She's the best.
She's always great.
Yeah. And, now I know that movie had a lot of reshoot issues. I know they had to reshoot the whole ending of that movie and yada, yada, yada. But again, terrible characters, terrible people. And we're supposed to sit through this whole mess of awful people and just wait until Laurie and Michael had their thing at the end. And they tried to do the thing where it kind of paralleled the end of the first movie and blah, blah, blah. But then you had that superfluous psychiatrist character who was, oh, you're the new Loomis. And he was the one that let Michael out because he wanted to see what it was like to be Michael Myers. And that was just like, oh my God, what are we doing?
I was laughing when he got killed. That was hilarious.
Well, yeah, but it's just like,
I know.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing? So that movie came out and everybody loved it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just in the minority. Fine. Fair point.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, it happened.
Yeah.
It happened. I mean, I can't do anything about it. It exists. So the sequel came out and I didn't care.
Right.
So the sequel comes out and it's so dumb.
Yeah.
That I love it.
But it was,
But it's not like it's my favorite movie.
No.
It's not like I've ever watched it again since the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of love. But in the moment I was watching it, it's like, oh, I'll take this over the first one anytime. Not the original, over 2018.
Right.
I'll take Halloween Kills over the 2018 movie any day because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But there were some cool kills.
Yeah.
And Myers was a fucking beast,
Yeah.
which is what he should be represented as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what did this franchise do? That you know, what did they set out to do in this one? They stripped the sibling, they stripped the supernatural, because what happened? Go back to the original. Put your minds back into the original timeline.
Okay.
They were siblings.
Right.
And then Laurie was killed off screen.
Mm-hmm.
She had this daughter, Jamie.
Right.
And then Jamie was poised to become the new Michael Myers, but nobody liked that in 4, so they scrapped it. And now suddenly she has a psychic connection with Michael in 5. Well, we didn't really know what we were doing with that. And so last minute swerve. Oh, now we got a Cult of Thorn in part 6. And somehow Michael impregnated his own niece with his child. And what are we doing? Oh, just course correct. Go to H2O. Like, okay, the movie went off the rails, but there was suddenly Michael became.
But no, let's fuck H2O up.
Yeah, but what I'm
saying, let's fuck it up and let's do Halloween Resurrection.
But what I'm saying is
fuck up H2O.
What I'm saying is like Michael became like this superhuman, like paranormal entity.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, what did Halloween 2018 set out to do? He wasn't the sibling anymore. So he was just this crazy old man once he was released who came back to wreak terror on Haddonfield again.
Right.
He didn't even come after Laurie per se.
No.
Laurie was just like, no. He's just coming back because that's what he does.
Right.
It wasn't to come back for Laurie because it was because she's his sibling or anything like that. No, he's just coming back because that's what he does. He's the shape. He's the monster.
He's the shape.
He's what Loomis always said he was.
That's right.
He's just evil. Okay.
Evil.
Fine. So you've gone back to those roots.
Evil has gone from here.
He's not supernatural.
Yeah.
He's not motivated by the sibling factor anymore. He's not supernatural.
Right.
And Halloween Kills kind of kept up with that, or he's just some crazy guy who's just killing people. Okay, fine. Right. So what the fuck does 3 do? What the fuck does 3 do?
Go ahead.
We're introduced to this new character called Corey. Corey, correct?
Yes.
Corey, who I was convinced for a good chunk of this film that we were going Friday the 13th part 5 Tommy Jarvis,
right,
where they used the Michael Myers thing for a minute.
The Jason thing, yeah.
For a minute, I thought, oh my God, do we have the balls to pull this bullshit where Michael Myers isn't even in this movie?
Right.
And I almost was convinced that Michael Myers wasn't even going to show up in this movie for a minute.
I shot him 6 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were introduced to this character, and at some point during the events of Halloween Kills, where the town's going crazy because Michael's running amok and blah, blah, blah. He's babysitting this kid. He's not even a babysitter. He's the lawnmower for this rich couple or whatever.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we need a babysitter, blah, 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 which is like great parenting, A+. And they call him over and they're like, well, we need a last minute babysitter. Could you babysit him?
Yeah.
And the kid turns out to be this horrific little brat.
Oh, I was happy when he died. Hold on a second.
Oh.
Thank you, Nate Dogg, for the super chat. He says, hey, Fat Samurai Guy and Lady Phatblood, 2 badass reviewers. Hey, man, we appreciate you support, man. Thanks again.
Thank you. And
go ahead. Back to the asshole kid.
So the kid turns out to be like this holy, just absolute monster of a brat, just asshole. And he locks Corey up at the very top of this house.
Right.
Like that's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 fucking stories.
Yeah.
Giant staircase, giant spiral staircase.
Right.
And Corey starts to freak out. And just as the parents are coming home, he kicks open the door, which the kid is standing right behind because the kid's trying to scare Corey.
Right.
Kicks open the door, kicks the kid over the banister.
The door hits the kid. Yeah.
Right. And the kid just falls right over the banister and splat right on the floor. And I start laughing.
That was fucking hilarious.
Because you deserved it.
It was fucking funny.
And I don't care. I don't give a shit. He's a bratty kid. Yeah. I don't care. And the parents, of course, are like, what did you do?
Yeah.
And because they never found Michael Myers after all the events of Halloween Kills.
Well, he's hanging out with the turtles.
Well, but because they never found him,
hanging out with Splinter,
they turned Corey into the new pariah of Haddonfield because Haddonfield are a town of assholes and the town of Haddonfield needs to be burned to the fucking ground.
Yes.
They turn him into the pariah.
Yeah.
And so he goes into the psych ward or whatever. He gets released after because it was just, it was accidental, but he doesn't whatever. But he stays in Haddonfield because he's married to his parents. Oh, his parents.
His fucking mom was fucking, oh God.
Yeah.
I'm glad she died.
Right.
Would have been nice to see the death. It would have been nice to see the death.
Right.
But
so
yeah.
This guy Corey essentially hijacks the movie. It's the Corey show.
Hey, all you Halloween 2018 fans and Halloween Kills fans. Hey, did you know that this whole entire time that you were anticipating Halloween ends and you wanted to see how this brand new trilogy ends, you're just watching fucking Corey.
Yeah.
Now, to go back before you continue, to go back to Friday the 13th Part 5, and I highly recommend, whether you love the movie or whether you hate the movie, I highly recommend you watch my review on Halloween 5. It's called Is It Really That Bad? All right. Friday the 13th Part 5. Okay. It's hilarious. You got to watch it. If you love it or hate the movie, you got to watch it. In my defense for Halloween 5, which is kind of funny because I shouldn't be defending Halloween 5.
No.
But here's my defense for the film. At least Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah.
At least, okay, yeah, they made him the killer at the end, right? And it was a bait and switch, right? But at least Tommy Jarvis was a legacy character. We were introduced to him. We had a whole movie with that character before this whole movie with this character. You can't, even if you love this movie, I see it really hard to defend bringing in a brand new character that nobody is invested in. Nobody cares or is invested with this character. You cannot bring in a brand new character and make him the antagonist of the film. You can't do that, man.
Yeah.
You can't. And even it's already stretching if you made a legacy character. Like what if they changed it? It wasn't Corey, it was the granddaughter, the youngest, the great was the great grand, right? Great grand? No, I'm sorry, the granddaughter.
Yeah.
What if they made the granddaughter the new killer? Even that's pushing it, but at least it makes a little bit more sense because the audience knows who this is. You can't do this. You can't bring in a brand new character in your finale. Nobody knows who the fuck this is.
And then he hijacks the movie.
And he hijacks the film.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rant a little bit later about what they did to you massacred my boy Myers. Do you want me to rant into that now, or you continue? We'll lead up to that. Go ahead.
So as I said,
I'm ready.
As I said, he becomes the pariah of the town, and he's getting bullied by this stock group of irritating, awful assholes.
Yeah, fuck getting bullied by gang members. Gang bangers,
the fucking band,
or jocks, The band
of what? I don't know.
The band.
Are they high school? Are they college? I don't fucking know. This guy's like what, 21, 20 years old, and he's getting bullied by the fucking band members.
So bad.
What the fuck is that? Anyway, so he's getting bullied by them, and that's when he meets up with Jamie Lee with Lori.
Yeah.
Lori seems to think it's a good idea to introduce him to the granddaughter. I mean, to the the granddaughter. The granddaughter instantly falls for this guy. And apparently she just sees
because horny.
Because that. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I just saw a guy that I know what it's like to be judged. Everybody thinks they know what you've been through, but they haven't. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so this group of people come back later, push him off the side of a bridge, of an overpass, and he falls down and he gets injured, but he ends up finding himself next to the hole that Michael Myers apparently has spent the last 4 years of his existence in, feeding off of rats, feeding off of homeless people, I guess.
Okay. This is where I start to ask questions. Go ahead.
Even though Michael Myers was able to drag him into the hole, they are now separated from each other. So instead of him immediately killing Corey,
or doing whatever he wants to do,
he is now separated from him. and he's trying to like strangle him or whatever. But then, and this is what I'm talking about, you wasted our fucking time by trying to reground the Halloween franchise in reality, because now
in 2018, yeah.
Because now Michael Myers looks into Corey's eyes, and Corey looks into Michael Myers' eyes, and suddenly Michael Myers sees all of Corey's deeds and sees him as a kindred spirit, and he lets him go. He sees everything that Corey's been through with the kid death. He sees it.
So
Michael Myers
we are
now
officially into supernatural territory.
So he's now supernatural again. And now we're doing the thing. Where Michael Myers is weak and he gains strength from killing people. What? I'm sorry. What?
Now it's time for me to rant.
So, but before you rant, so now he goes back up into the world and decides he wants to start killing people. He wants to start taking revenge on those that have wronged him. So now he starts his killing spree, but first he needs to take revenge on Allison, the granddaughter's ex-boyfriend, because he embarrassed him. He embarrassed him in an altercation, and somehow the ex-boyfriend goes down below. In a scene that was missing from the movie.
There was no reason for the asshole cop that was trying to get to the girl,
right,
to go randomly looking down there.
Yeah.
Why was he down there with a flashlight? And why was Corey waiting for him?
Yeah. And so he goes, he pleads with Michael, show me how to do it. And suddenly, again, this is where we glean that Michael is getting stronger from killing people, and now Corey's learning how to kill people. So now they're tag teaming kills. And this is what we get fed for the next like 40 minutes. But then Corey just takes over and becomes the killer until he doesn't. You may proceed.
All right. It's my turn. Why would Myers drag him into the sewer just to wait behind a wall till Corey gets up and walks by, and then he bursts through the wall to choke him? Why did that happen? Again, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like when he, I was laughing a little bit when he went back out of the sewer. And he had the old man going, I know you know Michael Myers is in there. He's grabbed more people before, but he's grabbed you. Why did he let you go? And you need to go back inside because I'm the new Michael Myers now. That was fucking hilarious. Unintentionally funny. And he ends up having a scuffle with the old man. He kills him. He buries him. It's almost like, when I felt watching this movie, it was almost like Myers doing the Undertaker choke on Corey. He was like, I am now giving you your balls. Right after that, Corey's confident. Corey's someone not to be fucked with. All of a sudden, Corey has his balls. And then later in the movie, they start doing their tag teaming thingin'. And then after that, we have the scene where the random cop is down there. If somebody gives an explanation of why the random cop is there looking with his flashlight, let me know, please.
Then you read a bit of the script that got edited out of the film.
Sure. So, all of a sudden, we have an altercation with Corey versus the asshole cop inside the sewer where the Ninja Turtles are hanging out. And all of a sudden, he can't handle the cop. So Myers comes out, and then Myers has a scuffle with the cop. And then Myers, this is what they did with Myers. I'm going to use Funko Pop Pinhead as example. They were like, hey, you know, the first movie, we're going to bring Myers back. He's going to be fucking intimidating. We're going to ground him. All right? You know, if you don't fuck with this Myers, Halloween Kills coming out of a burning building, you know, fucking up firemen, fucking up the whole town. He cannot be stopped. He's a fucking beast. We're going to take that Myers that we introduced in the first 2 films. We're going to hold them up like this. We're going to unzip, take his balls out and wiggle it. And then we're going to cut his fucking balls. We're going to cut his fucking balls. You mean to tell me one cop,
You got to wiggle them first.
you got to wiggle them. You got to get them out. Then you snipped it. You snipped Myers' balls. All of a sudden, Myers is on the ground like this. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Okay, Myers, one of the most badass slasher dudes, is on the ground like this. I'm sure all the fans of this new trilogy was waiting to see something like this on screen. Pay their hard-earned money to see. Right? And then all of a sudden, it's since Myers gave Corey the Undertaker choke balls, right? And now Corey has his balls. He's got his confidence. He's badass now. It's time for Corey's turn to give Myers his balls, because that's what everybody came to see and pay their hard-earned money, is to see this motherfucker screaming and yelling at Myers, telling him to get up, move it, soldier. On your feet, soldier. It's time for you to get your slashing balls back.
You need your killer mojo.
You need your killer mojo, man. And then Myers gets up and Myers has his balls. There's a problem with this film. I'm going to show you the problem. You ready? Watch this. There's your problem. 4 screenwriters for one movie.
Yeah.
4 screenwriters for one movie.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
That was the first thing I saw.
This is the problem.
And I was like, uh-oh.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
And we go from rest in peace, Corey. Here's your fucking balls. Go bang the chick. To Corey yelling at Myers to get up. And then they do some tag teaming. And they try to recreate the scene from the original movie. And she was just like, fuck you. She was like, fuck you. He impales her to the wall, and then he stands there and looks like that. No.
Like,
no.
Stop.
No. You don't go from to, oh, I'm back being a badass now.
It's like you haven't earned that shit.
Thank you,
like, no.
Corey. Thank you, Corey, for giving me my balls.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it gets worse.
Yeah.
And then it gets worse. Not only did they take Myers' balls and they do the snippity snip. Not only did they do that. Oh, at some point, Corey's like, you know what? You're just a fucking man in a mask. You old piece of shit. You're just a fucking man in a mask. So Corey manhandles your boy. I hope you guys are entertained by this. Corey manhandles Michael Myers, who took out a fucking town. He manhandles him like a bitch, drops him down, and takes his mask. Basically, Myers is laying there and moving his old head like this, like, what happened? Fuck this movie. Seriously.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the movie, we have Discount Myers going around killing people with off-screen deaths. And we timed it. There was not one memorable kill. Well, actually, there was only one memorable kill in this whole movie. One good kill. And that's when Discount Myers goes to the DJ's office and fucks his face up, and you see his tongue hanging out and all that. That was great. All the other kills suck. You know why? Because they're off-screen deaths. They're off-screen deaths, or they'll show the kill for 1 second, maybe a half a second, and they'll cut away. There's a scene where he stomps on one of the girls' heads. They show that stomp on the head. You remember the stomp on the head from 2018? They showed the whole thing. Watch this movie. Well, actually, don't watch this movie. But they as soon as he stomps on her head, right when just it's a second, half a second, they cut away. When Myers breaks Corey's neck, they turn down the crack sound. We don't get too violent now in our R-rated fucking slasher movie. Motherfuckers, did you guys forget you just made Halloween Kills? Did you forget the last movie you just made? No. Corey, no. Everyone's favorite brand new character in the franchise. Myers breaks his neck. Shh, turn the crack sound down. Seriously. For a franchise we're not even invested in, I'm still at the point where I'm like, fuck this movie.
And that's
you wasted fans of this trilogy's time.
And that's the kill that Michael Myers takes revenge on the kid that just manhandled him. He breaks his neck. That's it.
Yeah, nice death
for Corey,
for
the
fucking
guy
Corey
that hijacked the movie that we don't give a shit
that
about.
made you look like a bitch and took your mask.
And I get what they were trying to do. There is this running theme throughout the movie that evil just takes a new shape, and they made him the new pariah because Michael disappeared, and people see what they want to see.
Right.
And he was, Allison was having her own issues because she was stuck in this job with this awful boss that was promising her a promotion, but he was fucking the other office assistant, and she was going to get the promotion instead. So Allison was stuck in this dead-end job with this creepy ex-boyfriend cop that was constantly going after her. But I get it. I get what you were trying to do. But for her to instantly see Corey, get her panties wet over him, and that to be enough to be like, yeah, let's just torch this place and leave. After all the shit she's been through with her grandmother, and then she just like says, fuck you, grandma, I'm out of here. I don't believe a word you say.
Yeah.
Like, the character motivations were atrocious for this movie. And I already hated Allison to begin with. Like, I couldn't give two fucks about Allison as a character. Like, I didn't like her from
I never liked Allison.
I never liked her.
I was hoping she would get killed in the last movie as well.
And I was like, I was hoping her character was in a better place now because she's lost her mom. She's been through all this shit. She's living with her grandma now. Like, maybe her and her grandma have been like, hey, we've had to bond together. We've had to like go through this shit. We're like, we're stronger people now for it. But no, she's still terrible. Just fucking leave Haddonfield.
Yeah.
Which were kind of.
Yeah.
But then, no, she gets involved with this idiot Corey.
Yeah.
Because, I can fix him.
Well,
I can fix you fallacy is what it boiled down to.
This was my reaction. At the beginning of the movie, Laurie Strode's like, hey, I've given up being Sarah Connor. I will now be grandma. And we're gonna fix up the house and all this and all this.
She's writing a book.
She's writing a book. I literally was like, what the fuck are you still doing in Haddonfield?
Yeah.
My first reaction was like, fuck Haddonfield and everybody that lives there. Yeah. You even get a scene with Corey asking, what was her name? Allison, why are you still here? She goes, for the memories. I'm here for the memories. For the fucking 7-foot slasher guy that killed your mom? Dude, again. And I see what Nicholas, other people have said this too. Nicholas said that what Michael did to Corey was putting him out of his misery. Corey did not deserve that. Corey needed to be ripped apart, especially after beating the shit out of Myers and taking his mask. Not this silent PG-13 neck break. And before he did that, you guys notice Corey sees him. And then Corey grabs for the knife. Corey has no love for Myers. There was no need for a mercy killing. Oh, my best friend, my sidekick. No, fuck Corey. He beat the shit out of you, old man, and took your fucking mask and bounced. Just Jesus Christ, dude. Again, 4 people. It took 4 people to write this script. 4. And then we get to the finale. He gets his mask back. We finally get our, showdown. Well, first she has her altercation with Corey because she was the one that set Corey up with her granddaughter. And all of a sudden, later in the movie, she's like, "Oh, I see Michael Myers' eyes in him." Took you by the end of the movie to like do something like like it took you that long. Well, anyway, she has her altercation with Corey. Corey turns the tables on her, stabs him in the neck, and then Myers comes in later and gives him the PG-13 neck break. But then this is what everybody came to see. Everybody finally wanted to see some kind of altercation, some kind of finale with our two legacy characters here. And they just fought in the kitchen. The first movie, they fought in her house, kind of around the kitchen and other rooms. Second movie, she was too injured to do anything. That was understandable. But the third movie, you mean to tell me we couldn't have any other creativity, nothing creative to have another set piece someplace else? We had to fight in the fucking goddamn kitchen. And this fight was short. And Myers, who could kill everyone in the town, could not kill Laurie Strode. Was not physically. He can impale a woman up against a wall. He's that strong, but he can't put Laurie Strode's old ass Anne in the fucking garbage disposal. And I'm like, I did like, how she stabbed him and locked him in place. That kind of made more sense because there was no way she was going to keep up with him. But I want you guys to be honest. Be honest. If you guys love this movie, let us know in chat and let us know in the comments after this is live. I want you to be honest. I really do. We're really curious. When the 2018 film came out and then Halloween Kills and you were anticipated a finale, was this what you wanted? I want you to be honest. Even if you liked the movie, was this what you wanted? Two people fighting in the kitchen and that's it. 1 minute fight. I want you to be honest. Even if you liked the film, is that what you wanted? Was that satisfactory to you? And then after that, what's his name? Will Patton. Will Patton, because he's got the hots for Laurie. He's just like, I believe you. Myers is here. There's no reason to interrogate or ask what's going on. They hilariously put Myers' corpse on top of Strode's car, and I don't know, like the whole town got word like that Myers was there, and they all got their cars, and it was looking like a funeral. They were driving to get rid of the body. No reports made because they want to kill the legend. But that whole time, I was like torn. I'm like, is this supposed to be emotional? Or is this fucking hilarious that Laurie Strode's driving around with Michael Myers' corpse on top of her car? When they brought Myers to the grinder and she was putting him in the grinder, I wanted so bad for Myers to come back to life just for a second and grab her and pull her in. I would have applauded with that ending.
Oh my God.
I would have applauded.
Oh goodness.
Because again, towards the end of Halloween Kills, you kind of introduce a little bit of that supernatural element because he could take all that abuse and keep on kicking. And now Undertaker choke, giving some balls back, supernatural powers is introduced in this movie. But, no supernatural powers were needed. I guess they just weren't good enough to hold back Laurie Strode by herself. I know her granddaughter helped a little bit at the end. But yeah, you already brought up the fact that granddaughter just left after seeing her grandmother kill her lover. You brought that up, right?
Yeah, and then she sees,
which was fucking hilarious. She just left.
She sees the tower on fire, the radio
but
tower.
She just left.
And then
your grandma just stabbed. It looked like
your
grandma just stabbed your lover.
She's like, "What did you do?
You're just walking out. You're gonna go out and get some Starbucks." That was
my dick.
She went to get.
How could you?
She went out to get some In-N-Out.
I only had it once.
In-N-Out and some Starbucks.
And she realizes that Laurie called in a suicide call.
Yeah.
And then she rushes back.
Yeah.
And suddenly all is forgiven.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah. There's some diehard horror fanatic was okay with the fight. There's some diehard Myers enthusiasts that will love this movie no matter what, and that's perfectly fine. But I feel, even this is coming from me, who's not invested with this new trilogy, I feel that you fans of this new trilogy deserved a better finale. You guys deserved a better ending. You guys paid your hard-earned money. You invested in this new series, and you guys deserve better. That's the truth of it. Even if you enjoyed this movie, I'm pretty sure you think it's the weakest in the trilogy. And I'd be extremely surprised if this is your favorite in the trilogy. Oh, yeah. How Allison fell in love with this guy in 5 days. Yeah. Nicholas, you guys deserve better. You do. You do. And as smart and as smart as we think we are, writers and script writers out there, they tried to do something different, and we can appreciate that. But you still have to nail it, though. You still have to nail the ending. And there's a lot of people out there, that enjoyed the movie, and they basically were saying the only way you can enjoy this film is if you have an open mind, right? It doesn't get any more open mind than Terrifier 2.
And we had bare bottom,
yeah,
below the line expectations too.
Yes.
I didn't care. I wasn't invested. So if I'm not invested, and I really don't care where the franchise goes at this point, because if truth be told, when I didn't really care about 2018, I thought Michael Myers burning to death in her house was a perfectly fitting ending. And I was kind of
cool.
mad when I heard, oh no, we're turning it into a trilogy. I'm like, fuck you. You had a perfectly suitable ending. That was a perfectly great conclusion to her character. Shitty characters or not in 2018, at least for Laurie, that was a great conclusion for her character.
Yeah.
Having, trapping him in her house, everybody bands together, and that's her conclusion. That's it. Burn him alive.
No, I checked.
We need that cash cow.
Yeah.
We got to milk the teat.
I checked Halloween Kills. I think it was just two writers. But I like this. It opens your mind and then puts mashed potatoes in it.
There you go. And who doesn't like mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
Well, there's some people out there.
Well, anyway, is there anything else to talk about? Now, I did hear that this is the end of this trilogy. There's not going to be any more Halloween films. It went to there's another distributor now to do whatever they want with the franchise. So this is the last of this series for Blumhouse. I think somebody else now has the rights. What they will do with it, I hope it's better than Halloween Ends. Halloween fans deserve better. You do. But yeah, let's go ahead and rate this.
It's just,
I mean, we've seen worse horror movies, we've seen worse horror slashers.
Yeah.
And again, if we were invested in this trilogy, we were like, oh my God, I'd probably give this an F.
This would have hurt more
if we were invested, but we weren't.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So yeah, it wasn't a bad looking movie, and the score was at least solid.
And Jamie's great.
Yeah. She had a really funny line with the whole open your shirt up and show.
Oh yeah, show your boobies.
Yeah,
that was funny.
She's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just. What was this? What
was this?
What was the end goal here?
What was this? That's perfect. Halloween Ends. What was this?
So it's what was the end goal here?
Yeah.
I don't think you knew, and you just make it shit up. It's like this fucking Disney Star Wars trilogy.
It's almost like they introduced a new character to take on the franchise, but then they bitched out at the last minute.
It's like they remembered, oh yeah, Tommy Jarvis was a thing, and that didn't work.
Yeah, it's almost like they bitched out. Oh no, Myers is still in it.
Yeah.
He's still in it. He's down there with Splinter and the Ninja Turtles.
So it's like, I've seen worse, but this was just stupid and a waste of time. This was a waste of another trilogy for me. Even though I didn't care about the first movie per se, it's still a waste.
I hope wherever they take the series, the franchise in the future, I hope it's good. I hope it's great. The fans deserve better. But okay, what are you giving it? D. C is average. You giving it a D?
It is pointless.
Okay.
Pointless. Waste of time.
Okay. Like I said earlier, if I was invested in this trilogy from the beginning, I'd probably give this an F. But I'm gonna give it a D minus. I'm gonna give it a D minus. This was just, why did you waste the fans' time? You know. And again, it's not like we expected Laurie Strode to be pulling some fucking martial arts Michelle Yeoh badassery type of confrontation against Myers. But in terms of the plot, man, you never, future horror filmmakers, use this movie as an example. Never bring in a brand new character that nobody's invested in and nobody cares. No one knows who this is, to hijack your movie, especially the end of the trilogy.
Oh yeah, and the best part of the movie,
never do that.
They showed bits from The Thing remake.
Oh,
and then they showed what, Hard
yeah,
Target.
They showed Hard Target, showing Hard Target and The Thing. That was the best part of the film.
They showed like other movies. They showed better movies within the movie, which is like a cardinal sin.
Yeah, you don't do that.
So yeah,
you don't do that.
You know,
yeah,
you're not supposed to do that. So
yeah, so yeah, D minus for Halloween Ends. But do we have time for a quick Megan trailer reaction?
I guess.
All right, we're gonna do it now. All right, now for copyright reasons, I can't show the video, but at least you get to see Lady Phatblood's reaction to the trailer.
Got me nervous.
And I'll get out of the way so you can fully see her. Hold on, let me go.
Oh, great.
You might want to get the headphones there because you won't hear anything. So you'll see her watching it, but you won't. We'll do a sound test for you, okay? This is going to be great. And then you'll have control of it, all right? So you can watch it. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this is the one I see. Don't look.
Okay.
Don't look.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's get through the ad. God damn it. She hasn't even seen my reaction. All right, I'm gonna play the trailer for you. Okay. Let me know if that's just a couple of first seconds. Is that too loud? How's that?
I guess it's okay.
Okay, I won't be talking.
Okay.
All right, here you go, guys. She's gonna hit play.
Spot.
Damn it! Hold on. All right, guys. She's gonna hit play. We'll have some fun here. Hold on.
Oh,
God. All right. See, all right. Just look at yourself. Make sure you're in frame.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna move.
Okay.
And then just click on that, and then hit play, and then when you're done, just click back to stream.
Okay.
All right. Your control is yours.
Oh God. Sorry, everyone. Oh Jesus.
Oh, there goes the bag.
Oh boy, I'm scared. Oh no. Okay. They can't see my reaction because I'm blinding them. Oh no, this isn't gonna.
What?
I'm gonna turn down the light because I'm blinding them. You're there to offset me and my whiteness. Is that a little better? I hope that's a little better. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like really white.
And then after you react, go ahead and talk about it a little bit.
What? Ah! How dare you leave me?
And let them know when you hit play.
I'm hitting play now. What the fuck? Stupid. What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. Yes, yes, come back. I'm taking the headphones out. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay. All right.
You know, we have to watch and review this, right?
Oh my god. Okay, so all right. So I can see some people are probably going to be like creeped out by this, but it looks
Yeah.
kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Like it looks fucking stupid, like the doll dancing and doing like shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably gonna be laughing my ass off the whole movie. Like Chucky for girls. Chucky for girls, right? I can see why Chucky and Megan are like in a Twitter war right now.
Yeah. But I was the same way though. I was like, when I first saw the doll walking around and stuff, I was like, and then when the dancing, I lost it. So you can watch my reaction later. But there you go, guys.
What the fuck?
Ooh, what fun. What fun.
Oh my god. I hope that's as dumb and funny as I want it to be.
Yes, don't be boring.
Because if it's like too serious, like too direly serious, I'm gonna be bored. Because that looks so stupid. Like it looks dumb. Like the doll trying to be all creepy and you should run and all that shit. It's like no. Yeah, it's like oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Well, with that note, thanks
Lord.
all you badasses for watching and hanging out with us. We actually had a lot of viewers tonight. You guys fucking rock. I was very surprised for a late Sunday night. You guys are hardcore. Hey, thanks again for hanging out with us. You got to see the Lady Phatblood reaction. Hey, if you're new here, thank you so much for hanging out. Like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. He can help support the channel by becoming a channel member or join us over there on Patreon for some exclusive videos and all that good stuff. Keep watching movies, horror movies. And with Werewolf by Night tonight, we're kicking off Werewolf Week. So we actually got a lot of werewolf movie content this week, starting tomorrow, the next day after that. We got some werewolf stuff. So having some fun, enjoying October, enjoying Halloween. You guys are awesome. And well, thank you guys for watching. You guys fucking rock. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.